Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. It's the giant Bombcast brought to you by Game Informer and Character Issues. I am your host today, Mike Minotti, and joining me, even though there's a new captain of this ship today, somehow he is still the co-captain. I have not thrown him overboard. Everybody, it's Jeff Grubb.
Do you need anything? Can I get you anything, sir? Another foot rub? I mean, whatever you need, I'm here for you.
Just keep the Diet Dr. Peppers coming and we'll all be good. We'll all be good. Right. And he's the world's happiest little pilgrim. He's going to make it all the way to the Citadel with nary a weapon, Dan Reichert.
I've never really considered just how different Mike Minotti and Janet Choa are. Like just completely different human beings, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't want to hear about bugs. He doesn't want to hear about their weird little underground societies. He doesn't want to hear about their weird false gods and pseudo-religions. He just wants to squash, smash, destroy Turbo Sean McDowell.
You really know how to make Silksong sound appealing to someone, Mike. You know that?
Yeah, I know. It's a gift of mine. Welcome, everybody. Jan and Jerf are out on assignment today. That's all right. We still got a fantastic crew assembled here to talk about all of the hottest video game news and releases. But gosh, any other housekeeping we need to do, Grubb, here on the top?
No, I mean, not anything in particular. I think, we just will have, usually this is where he just starts talking about random stuff, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything. We
Bring something up, Mike. Bring something up.
I just wanted to make sure.
I'm thinking, I think we're covered, though. Those bases are all
just
good.
Make sure, did Chuck tell us to do something? Is Chuck going to yell at me? I don't know. I think I'm doing a good
he might
job.
have, yeah.
Chuck's not your boss.
Yeah.
Maybe you should look at the rundown, Mike, at the highlighted section in big, bold letters.
See, that's what
it's
I
highlighted
refuse to do
and
that.
bold. Yeah, look at that.
Premium site beta.
Oh, yes. Everybody go to enormousexplosive.com. Make sure you have opted in. The wiki needs your help. So join the wiki street team still. That's a thing in the Discord. Do that. All right, good. Good job. We did it. That is some great housekeeping stuff there. Yeah, how's everybody doing? I'm busy. How about you guys?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm back to. It's been a little bit since I've been playing I'm always playing a ton of games,
right?
But this has been so much that it's like I'm having to stop at times because my hands are hurting because I'm playing for so many hours in a row and all weekend and numerous different games, and it's a good feeling. It feels like home.
No, yeah, exactly. It is fun. Even I'm usually pretty good, but the amount of Switch 2 D-pad using I've been up to lately. I think I've actually built up a callus or something. It's feeling better.
Yeah, I pushed through the pain. I started using the D-pad on the Switch 2, and it's much better in certain ways. When I'm actually just exploring, I'll go use the analog stick to save my life. But I pushed past the pain, and now I think I'm used to it now.
I will say I've been swapping between, talking about Hollow Knight, we'll go into the game later, but the controller, I've been swapping between Elite controller, the Steam Deck, and now I think the 8-bit do Ultimate. That's the main one, because the Elite's a great controller, but I do just exclusively use D-pad on Hollow Knight. And so it's I did find myself, when I switched to the 8-bit do, it's just this placement is much, much better for Hollow Knight. So that's been my go-to. And Steam Deck, I'll get to bosses and stuff on the Steam Deck, and it's just look, love the Steam Deck, but I'm actively doing worse with that,
Interesting. Yeah. It's kind of annoying how when we first saw the Switch, we were like, wow, they're going to be able to have modular controllers. They can create all sorts of different controller things for this. And they just kind of never did that, actually.
Yeah, Nintendo didn't. Yeah, I mean,
third parties did.
Third parties stepped in. I'm hoping for the same thing here. If I can get a nice, good, real D-pad on the Switch 2, I'll take it. I'm fine with this. I'm doing all right with it, but it's much better with the real D-pad. The Pro controller for the Switch 2, really good way to play.
It's a good controller.
I assume is performance great on Switch 2 because I haven't heard anyone even mention it, so I assume it's fine.
I think it's good on Switch 1. Actually.
Oh, nice. I mean, I guess that shouldn't be surprising, but you'll be surprised sometimes.
We had Ragebound not be good on Switch recently, right? So it's happening.
Oh yeah. You can get some tech support from Randy Pitchford if you're having issues.
Okay, let me get him on Twitter real quick.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
Jeff, you already got the hoodie rock in there. That looks nice. That looks comfy. I gotta go hoodie shopping. Although we kind of had we always have summer creep back in a bit. It got a little warm the last.
Yeah, it got
couple
warm
of
again.
minutes.
That was unfortunate. But I'm ready for the fall. Having all the games is really like setting me up for that mood of like, it's nice and chilly. Let's open a window, get a nice breeze in here, and play some games. But for me, it really has been almost exclusively Silksong, and the hand pain is like real. It's not as bad as when I played like 80 hours of Dead Cells in a week. I'm trying to space that out a little bit more than that, but it's very close to that.
Here's what I hate. Since you guys started bringing this up, I am noticing that my thumb hurts. Actually, like it's in my head again.
I'm literally right now gripping a Shakti ball. This is a it's like spikes. It's a brass ball with spikes on it. I've just been rolling it around just to try to like keep my hands from cramping up too much.
Okay,
I'm doing some strength exercises over here. There we go.
I have an important fall question for you, Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, shoot.
Have you been able to save the giant Jack Skellington yet?
That is part of what I'm going to be doing this weekend. I might actually have a big bucket truck sort of thing delivered. I was going to put up some lights, and I was going to actually use that to make sure that I could really secure the Jack Skellington this year. I've not really taken a look. It will require surgery. The legs broke, everybody. Kind of like bent over, and that thing's expensive, and we only had it for 1 year. It would stay up the whole
Santa Claus
season.
finally get him?
Just had to come in and just took him out. Yeah, absolutely. He fell over at the very end of the season, so he was up the whole time. It was just fine, and then of course, like the day I was going to take him down, basically it broke. It sucked.
Why don't you this idea is maybe a bit unhinged, but if his legs broke, can't you have him just in a kneeling position now? Maybe put his arms together.
I'll come up with something creative. Yeah, maybe I could like stick it. Maybe he's coming out of the ground or something like that.
Yeah.
Mike, I think you would appreciate this. A guy a few houses down from me, he's the guy who does all of the like visual stuff and theming for Valley Fair, which is the like big amusement park here. So like his fucking house every holiday is insane. It's like he's a professional. He like decorates amusement perks for a living.
That's
so
awesome.
like if it's like no holiday, it's like a giant like bronze statues of his dogs and like a working waterfall. He's got like melting clocks all over like the outside of his house. Now he's got just giant like 6 foot tall pumpkins and shit everywhere. It's like all like top of the line stuff. It looks incredible.
I love these people. It can't be me. I'm too lazy, but I love that other people are doing this kind of ridiculousness.
Yeah. I'm glad I get to look at it. I'm not going to do it myself.
Speaking of theming, did you see? Okay, I'm bringing up Disney this time because it's pretty interesting. One of the restaurants in their shopping area, which is by the water, the restaurant is made to look like an old like steam wheel boat or whatever, right? Somebody swam through the lake in scuba gear, got onto the boat after midnight, and robbed them, and then like swam away with the money. And I think maybe getting away with it, he like sprayed all the security cameras and stuff. He's wearing scuba gear a lot, so people don't really know what he looks
fucking
like.
Jesse Ventura.
Right, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was like a lot of money too, wasn't it?
It was like over $10,000.
Yeah, it was like $20K or something.
So like cash in the register for the rest that people spend at the restaurant. That's what
Presumably,
I'm thinking about.
Because I think it was like midnight, so I think they were counting up. Again, how much cash could they have on hand at a restaurant these days? So I guess $20,000 worth still.
Yeah.
This is Paddlefish. That restaurant's been there forever. When I was a kid, it was the Empress Lily, and I remember it because they used to do character meals there. And Chris was a baby, and he poked Donald Duck in the eye. And like the Donald Duck guy had to pretend like it hurt, and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a scuba gear bandit in Disney World right now. Nothing is safe anymore. Nothing is sacred.
That's that rules. Actually, I'm a huge fan of this person.
Yeah. Kind of awesome. Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I do feel bad for like the poor people who worked at this restaurant who got stuck up. Like that was scary.
Sure,
I bet.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
But otherwise, take the money.
Mike, if you were to get stuck up anywhere, where would you want to get stuck up? Well, I guess actually probably not Disney, because that would ruin it for you.
Yeah, that might be weird memories. The place opened the next day. Do you think that was a little awkward? Like, what do you think they were talking about?
I mean, you're saying they just opened as normal the next day?
Yeah, like continue service. What are you gonna do? I guess.
What are you gonna do? Right? Yeah.
Don't got hurt, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just money.
You gotta make more money. Make the money back. Yeah. Get to work.
I wonder if is Disney like, are they all huddled up right now? Like, we can't let them get away with this. There's going to be copycat criminals. There's going to be just a sea of scuba divers like infiltrating their restaurants.
Yes, they'll just be like, well, we found him. There'll be like just a mannequin in the river or whatever, and they'll be like, we got him. Don't look too closely. They'll just fake it.
The thing where he's got a hat that's got like a duck on top of it, and he's just like swimming up. Yeah.
You think
a Donald Duck? Yes.
Do you think he's surprised it worked? Because I mean, the idea seems ludicrous. If he said it out loud.
I think to do something like that, you have to have a certain amount of confidence. So I think he thought it was going to work. Yeah. You know.
Can't be me. I neither condone.
That's what he would say if it was you. I think it was you, Mike.
Everyone thinks. Look, guys, I'm here. I don't know if you know this. It's a bit of a trek to get to Walt Disney World, unfortunately.
He's got some Hyperloop Elon Musk thing that takes him from Ohio to straight to Orlando.
We can't. Their water table's too high there, though. It can't be an underground thing. Be a big problem. It's all just they don't have basements in Florida. In most parts of Florida. Did you know that, Dan? Because of the water.
That makes sense. New Orleans is like that.
Yeah, it's very New Orleans coded. Mm-hmm. That's what they're always saying about Florida. Very New Orleans.
I like New Orleans a lot more than Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a better place.
They have a New Orleans at Disney World. I'm going to stay at the
No,
New
they
Orleans.
don't.
They have a New Orleans themed section in Disney World, and I'm going to stay at that resort the next time I go. I'll send you pictures.
Okay. I'm sure it's exactly like New Orleans.
It'll be great. My girlfriend's from New Orleans now, so I'll ask her. You're just some goddamn tourist over here casting your suspicions and doubts and accusations. I'm going to bring a native, and they're going to tell me what's actually up.
You 1,000,000% just pulled my girlfriend who goes to a different school is so cool and cooler
Absolutely.
than you.
You got an uncle that works at Nintendo, a girlfriend that's from New Orleans.
New Orleans girlfriends, the new Canadian girlfriends.
The Canadians still are mad at me with that whole national anthem thing.
No Canadian would date you, not after what you did.
No, I'm blacklisted from that whole. I don't think I could cross the border, which is too bad. We used to go to Toronto for vacations when I was a kid. It was very nice there.
I mean, it's a dumb question, but I don't remember needing one when I was younger. You need a passport to go to Canada now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. When I was a kid, it certainly wasn't like I didn't have a passport as a child when we were crossing the border by Niagara Falls, wherever that was. No.
Right. Yeah. Even like as like a young adult, like went over to Canada a couple times. Okay, so that means that with that passport I found that is so out of date that I can't just renew it, I'm gonna have to get a new one. All right, cool. That's fun.
You should probably just do that immediately anyway.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking about it for sure. But it's like still a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think mine's probably gonna expire. I do have to look at that. Passports. Passports are interesting. I'm always a little impressed when the world does come together and agree on like one thing. It's like, all right. This is the system, and we're all going to abide by this, everyone.
Right. You could tell it happened a long time ago, because otherwise it never would have happened, right? Yeah, couldn't do this today, right? This the world. This is George Soros coming to get our passports. Yeah.
Anybody else been up to anything interesting?
Just so many games.
It's a lot of video games. Do you want to just talk about them? Do you want to just talk about the video games?
We should probably talk about the video games.
Let's just talk about the video games. All right. Oh, there's that. Oh, there it is. There's the music. Fantastic. Great stuff. Video games.
It's just like Jan.
Just like Jan. Speaking of Jan likes to save a big game for the end, right? But not me.
Oh, shit.
I'm in charge.
Wow.
We're going to start with the big one. I'm going to, and I don't want to be gross here. I don't want to do any euphemisms, but I'm going to blow my load right now. And speaking of sticky white fluids, Jeff Grubb.
Let's go down that thread with Silksong here, because I tell you what, there's something I've noticed here. With Silksong, I will get to a boss that is like difficult. And I'll like what Trobio or something like, isn't that the guy? Yeah. And so I will just be like, man, I'm having trouble with this one, but I've heard people bring up Savage Beastfly. I've heard people bring up these other ones. No one said anything about Trobio. And so several times now I have searched for the name of a boss just on Blue Sky to see like, are other people complaining? And without fail, type in the name of a character from Silksong into Blue Sky, and it's just, here's them with a giant cock. Just like, here's Hornet with a big cock, and they're getting fucked. Like, just search the word Hornet on Blue Sky, and then just go by latest. It is just nothing, and it's like, hey, whatever you're into. But I am shocked at you will not have to scroll far.
Okay, I'm scrolling. Okay, that's one page. That's 2 pages. That's 3 pages.
Is that an algorithm
is that
problem?
a penis? That's not.
Do you have settings for adult content, or like do you have to click a thing?
I don't know.
Keep
those on at all times.
I've never touched anything on Blue
Oh,
Sky.
okay.
This
If
is
you,
self-reporting.
there's a lot there. There's a lot.
I'm not
Search for
seeing any penises,
Trobio.
Dan.
No. Let me see if it's just my Blue Sky. Let's see. I get all the Hollow Knight penises.
It has literally been. He doth protest too much this entire time.
Perhaps, yes.
Mike, to be clear, we are talking about Hollow Knight here because I thought you were going to swerve and do a different game. That would have been a really funny bit.
No, the sticky white fluid is Silk.
Okay.
You see.
Oh. Grub, are you on latest?
Okay, let me.
That's the thing. I think top filters some things out.
All right, I'm on latest. Let's go here. Okay. This is like I'm down half the page so far. It hasn't refreshed there. Okay, just refreshed for the first time. No penises, Dan.
Really?
Dan, I would tell you if there were penises.
Sure.
There are no penises.
Are there the things that say adult content?
Okay, I did. That was Trobio. Let me do Hornet.
Try Hornet. Because I see some stuff right
Hornet,
now.
Yeah, Hornet, you're not going to get far.
This is some like, okay, now here's like a big boob one.
Oh, I'm on latest.
Here's a big butt thing. Here's a cock.
All right, there's a human girl
Jesus
as
Christ.
Hornet.
Okay.
I'm not getting any of this. I'm sorry, I'm not.
That is fascinating to me.
Okay,
there is a lot of
some hips.
Okay.
There's a lot of Silksong porn, but there's also a lot of Silksong gameplay, and we should talk about that instead. Jeff, you have been playing Silksong. Dan, you've been playing Silksong. I've been playing a ton of Silksong. It really is a hard to put down video game right now. I'm very deep into now that sounds gross too. I'm very far into Silksong.
You can just talk about the game.
Let's see. Okay, where are we at? I'm at like 38 hours in.
I'm checking my hours right now. Give me a second.
Okay, I'm like 38. I beat the game. I saw the first credits, and now I'm just like, I've done like every town quest. I'm kind of like, which again, if you're sensitive to like spoiler stuff, tread lightly here because we're going to talk about the game.
I'm 32 hours in, and I've been spending a ton of time doing all kinds of stuff. Like I've done most of the town quests before, just because I was having fun doing that stuff.
Okay, yeah, I posted last night my game completion, and yeah, I was at 31 hours, 43 minutes when I beat the character you're on right now. So, Grub, I feel like we were like at the exact same pace, and now I've spent like another 6 hours or so just kind of mopping up everything, getting ready for Act 3. There's a lot.
Yeah, so I when I got that first ending, it was 20 hours in for me, and I've spent another 10, so I'm like at 30 right now, and basically kind of at the end of that stuff even because I have done most of the town quests. I've gotten the fleas to their last location, that kind of stuff.
Same, yeah.
Got all sorts of pickups. I think I have max health now. I have a ton of extra silk.
I've only upgraded my health once. Is that like?
I'll tell you what. The first one took me forever to do.
Oh.
A lot of it's in Act 2, Jeff. Don't worry about it.
I have 8 masks.
I'm at the end of Act 2. Like, yeah.
I have 8 masks of health, and I've gotten like 3 sword or needle upgrades.
Yeah, I will say
upgraded it twice.
I mean, I got like 3 additional masks the entire time. So I think there's only 12 of them. I think I have 12 of them. If there's somehow 4 extra ones hiding around for another pip, I'd be surprised. But maybe there is. I don't know. So I have 3 extra health now. This game is so freaking good. I just love everything about the way it feels. I love this world and how kind of weird and serious it takes itself. The boss design is absolutely incredible. Sean is now a piece of banana bread.
That's the subtle way of saying he's going piss. So,
oh, I see.
we just put him on blast instead.
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you. Like, I started this and like, I had the turnaround where it's like, I hated Hollow Knight, the original one. Then I played through it all and I gained a respect for it. Like, it didn't become like one of my favorite games of all time, but I was like, I understand why people like this a lot. But Silksong now, the way I feel about it is the way I feel people were talking about the first one, being like, this is one of the best games of all time. Like, I am fully obsessed with this. Like, for me, it's a difference between like the first Metroid and Super Metroid. To me, like first Metroid, obviously good game, did a lot of things great, but Super Metroid is an absolute all-timer. And so I went from going in with like, I didn't really like pay too much attention to the hype. Like I realized it was a meme, it came up all the time and stuff like that, but I never really thought much about it or got myself too hyped up for it. And I started it up and I was like, okay, I wonder, like, there's no way it's going to like, the hype is a very specific thing with this one. It was almost this meme of how long it took and everything. Like, I'm sure it's going to be a good game. I'm sure it's going to be like a 85, something like that. And then the more and more I played it, including right now, like I've beaten the game and I think I'm more into it right now than I think I ever have been. And like, it's helped out a ton by like, at this point, once you're deep in the game, the mobility stuff you have, it is just so fun to just zip around the map. It's like, it reminds me of like at the end of Bloodstained, another one of my favorite Metroidvanias. You just have the most insane, you can basically fly around the entire map. And I'm just doing fetch quests, but it's fun just because like the moment to moment is so great. That's where I am with this. And so like, there are things where it's like you get to Hunter's Mart or the bio place or whatever early on when you don't have a lot of mobility. And it's almost more frustrating than it is fun. And I do understand a lot of the pushback on the difficulty because of that. But then like you get over that hump. And when you get more options, you get more tools, you get more things that like boss fight, it's still hard. There's hard platforming, there's hard boss fights, but you just have so many different ways you can approach it that I think you definitely get over that difficulty hump at a certain point.
Yeah, it feels like a very strong expression of like what you were describing there is the Metroidvania, right? You go into a place and it's dangerous, and then you get skills, and you also become better at the game because you've been playing it for a long time. You understand what it expects of you, but you also say to yourself, "I got the skills or the abilities in the game, so now I can go back there." And it's both things. You are more skillful, and you have the abilities. And now you go back to that place, and you are the master now, and you can dominate. And that's one of the great things about Metroidvania is that curve of starting off and just feeling like everything is so dangerous and then getting to a point where you can kill everything. The thing about Silksong that makes it so good is it is very dangerous, and then its sense of atmosphere, its sense of place is so extremely good. It is so awesome. The audio design of like hearing people singing around you and like being like, oh, he's a room over, I guess, whatever. But even just like the clicking and clacking of the cogs and stuff and the clockwork stuff in that one place, playing with the music. And then as you like follow that path down a little bit further and you get into this other, even more dangerous area, and you're like, oh, this is off the beaten path, and I'm just going to kind of keep pushing it here and seeing how far I can go. There's probably going to be some goodie at the end. And then, you get through there, and by the time you're at the very like base of this very dangerous place, you're like looking around and be like, oh my God, I really should not be here. This is so intimidating, and yet I was able to do it, and I did it because I'm going to get something good here at the end. And it just feels so awesome. That loop is so cool. It's maybe the best it's ever been in one of these games in terms of really figuring out that going from feeling threatened to being the thing that can threaten everything else. Silksong just nails that.
Yeah, and so much of the discourse I know has been about the difficulty, and I think that's turned a lot of people off. And I understand that. Like, I don't think every game should be like this, where it's like, hey, listen, it's going to be fucking hard. We're not going to have a lot of options for like making it easier for yourself. But like, it is brutal in a way that I think I'm weirdly nostalgic for. It reminds me of like, beating my head against like a Mega Man boss over and over again and having to restart the level or whatever. Like, I know this doesn't sound fun, but like not many games do it this unapologetically. And it gives you such high highs and low lows where it's like, oh, you lose a ton of rosaries, or you just did your 30th fucking loss on this boss fight and you need to go to bed, but you want to fucking beat this thing before you go to bed. Yeah. And then when you finally, you're like, oh, I'm going to try it one more time, and you beat it. And that, just that animation and everything is so just like, fuck! Like Bonk has told me from upstairs that like, Dan, I've been hearing you, like you never yell when you're playing video games. And I am like triumphantly yelling, angry yelling and everything. And it's like, it's all great. Like I love it even when I'm angry at it,
It's incredible, just like the sense of like happiness and relief that can wash over you when you beat difficult boss. Have you guys gone through all of BioWater? Because that was definitely the most difficult part of the game.
Yeah, that place sucks ass. Yeah.
That place is rough.
I think maybe I have not gone like and completely explored it, but
the
I've gone through it a lot
that,
recently.
It's the one with.
Oh yeah, no, I know the one. Yeah.
It's the one with the really long run back if you die at the boss thing at the end there, and the boss even has like a gauntlet before you get to the boss. It's like it's the whole thing. The game. It's the game actually kind of straight up just kind of pointing at you like, ha. You think you like how hard this game is? And I'm like, I still do, actually, even though you're hurting me. It's maybe a problem. I should go talk to somebody. But yeah, that part took me hours. And when I got through it and finally saw that boss blow up, boy, did I feel good.
The run back stuff, like, yeah, it's annoying. But like, I do feel like most of them have at least like okay, here's a quick way to just kind of like avoid this enemy and jump up this wall and get past this. And like, it just kind of becomes like muscle memory at a certain point. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The run back stuff didn't bother me that much, I think. And
Yeah,
also, I think just going from like fast travel to fast travel stuff, like that kind of annoyed me with the first one, was they'd be so spread out and it would take forever to get from one to the other. I do feel like with all the bellways and stuff this time, I think it's less of an issue this time.
It's pretty good. I mean, there's Metroidvanias that don't have any of that. This game is so big that of course it needs to have a decent amount of those.
Something like twice the size of Hollow Knight 1 or something like that, this map. So, yeah.
And Hollow Knight 1 was a huge game. This game's very smart about how it reveals that map, because Act 1 is a relatively straightforward progression of this zone into that zone into that zone. Then Act 2 is where it really opens up. It kind of feels even more like Hollow Knight 1 did almost straight away from the beginning. But even what's fascinating is you go through Act 2, you think you found all the map, and still you find some breakable wall, and here's just a whole nother area. Not just a room, a whole nother area. It's incredible how much bigger
that happens
the game
multiple
gets.
times.
I love those feelings when it's like you're far enough away from a bench and you've done enough stuff, when you have enough rosaries where it's like you do break a wall or something and you kind of poke your head in there being like, oh, maybe it'll just be like a thing on the floor and then I leave. And you see just like a huge like chamber and it's like, oh man, I don't know. Like, should I come back to this later?
And then sometimes I don't, and I end up regretting it. And it's like, hey, I like that the game punishes me sometimes, like for being an asshole. Like I can play this game like a real asshole, just running and gunning and being like, I am going to get to the place I want to go so fast. And then, boo, I run right into a spinning fan or something, or some spikes. And it's like, I'm such a jackass. But going back to the difficulty a little bit, like for the bosses at least, they are very much just like Mike Tyson Punch-Out bosses. I think that for the most part, the majority of them are the simpler Mike Tyson Punch-Out bosses, where it's like once you learn the patterns, it is so clear what you should be doing that you're going to be fine. It's just a matter of learning the patterns. Later on, now I'm getting to ones where it's like maybe a little bit more frequently. It's about knowing the patterns and execution. There's this fucker in this tiny hallway, this thin hallway, and he's one of the big flying guys that shoots the drills, and it was bouncing around the top.
That one took me a bit. It was fun. Yeah,
I hate the guys that spit the green acid stuff, like those flies that like spit the acid. Like that sucks.
There's a lot of flying enemies in the game. I think that's another point. Now that's why I think you should be smart with what tool you have, right? And I'm always I basically use that sort of arcing harpoon the entire game. I have another tool that adds poison damage to it, so it does more damage. It's just I'm like, okay, this is good because it kind of goes up a bit, so it's good for hitting flying enemies. It pierces, so it can hit multiple enemies.
I don't know if I have that one, Mike. Where'd you get this tool? Do you
That's
remember?
A great question. I got it so long ago.
Forever ago, yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten so many more since then. I don't even know what to do with them.
Can you tell me how many of those you can carry? Because the thing with the tools is...
I have a maxed out ammo patch now. I can carry 20 of them.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, so like the best anti-air thing I have are these little flying like red scarab guys.
The cog flies. I just got the cog flies this morning, and oh my god, they've been great against some bosses. The cog flies.
The what?
The cog flies.
Okay, cog flies.
I was gonna say that explains your blue sky algorithm.
Oh, let me check. Let me check blue sky real quick. By the way, I saw someone on Twitch be like, "Oh, I had some moderation settings on." Dan was right.
All right, then. Well, I might leave those on then.
Maybe they're protecting us actually.
Have you been through the mist?
Yes.
Oh my god, I knew what you had to do to kind of find your way through. It's basically the Lost Woods. But those fucking enemies in there, until I realized, there's a certain tool or attack you can do that just chews them up.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, it makes
I mostly just avoided them. I was just kind of like,
I tried,
stay away
but
from me.
You get through enough of those rooms and stuff, and it's like they're just gonna grab you every fucking time.
Yeah.
It's that area sucks.
So many like neat distinct looking places, right? You have like, of course, you have like a snowy place, you have a hot place. Even the hot place though is not just a volcano; it's a forge. So that's kind of
that was cool.
Fun on it. It's just so many fun little dudes and people you're seeing, or big dudes and people, weird little quests. Some like giant creature whose eggs are about to hatch. Like you got to give me some organs, or else they're gonna eat you instead. Sherma, maybe best character of the year. I love that little.
Keep saying that. Which one is that?
That's the one with the bell. and she's
Oh yeah, I've seen her. What's her deal though? Like
She's just a little kid,
just
or
a
maybe
pilgrim.
maybe a little boy. I don't know. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and, they're-
he's just an adorable little dude, you know?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just
Okay.
very ignorant about the dangers they're facing, right? So they're just like, dude, this is great. And you're like, it's not. It's very dangerous. You're going to die. Please be careful. They're like, no, I can't die because I'm a believer. Do. I'm like, oh, you ignorant idiot. I love you.
did any of you get the free spa clearance?
Yes, I
Okay.
did get the free spot
That's
clearance.
a really
So
funny bit. I like that a
That
lot.
was, yeah, there's not, and again, this game takes itself very seriously for the most part, but it does have some moments of levity and they're not ridiculous or anything.
Sorry, coming in from Twitch here, Marcus says, I checked my blue sky settings. Good Lord, Dan might have been understating the Hornets. Yes. I'm not crazy, trust me.
Oh God. This is one case where I'm actually like, I can't tell if it's sincere or if people are just goofing. I don't know.
Oh, by
It's
saying they
got-
don't see it because it's fucking
It's
a
Blue
lot.
Sky. Blue Sky is the artist platform. You're gonna see everything if you go
Sure.
looking for it. That's how
It's
search
like,
works.
it's like we don't have brands at least, right? So yeah, you know.
Like
you wouldn't
my
see-
Twitter got way weird there at the end, so I was like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
nothing like
Twitter
Twitter,
got
but I
weird
guess
for everyone.
I probably just have the stuff turned on, and I'm not gonna fuck with that. I'm fine. Blue Sky's
Did,
fine for me.
Did you guys do the big courier quests you have to do? Courier or
Oh my
courier?
God, I did that a couple
Courier.
nights ago. Courier, yeah, the
Courier.
one that you have to do to get the meal, the Farloom
Yes,
meal or
yes,
whatever, the
I
taste of
just did
Farloom.
That was also one of the hardest things I did in the game. So for
Oh.
people, there's a kind of a system where you can make deliveries in the game, but you're on a timer. You can't use any of the fast travel. If you get
And?
hit or you run into a wall or you fall too far without like double jumping or doing something to save yourself at the end, it takes off the timer. And boy, the one you need to do for this kind of important quest, it's a very long route. So
It's a-
that
but
took some doing.
Did
I
you clear
liked
out
it.
Did you clear it though? Did you go
Yeah, I
through?
realized,
'Cause
okay, I can kind of clear out most of the major enemies
Yes.
along the way, and that helps out. But what you
There
don't
are
sit
a
on a
few-
bench.
There are a few that
Wait,
like
what do you
burst
mean?
out of the ground, and there were a few like so if you sit on a bench, it respawns everything for the most part.
Yeah.
But I walked the entire path first, and I killed everything. And outside of like some of those flies in the water, some of the things that burst out from the ground, you can pretty much just clear that whole path as long as you don't sit at the bench. So, like,
I was using some of those enemies though to like jump and get
Sure.
higher more quickly, so I didn't clear them out.
Oh, it just scared me so much. There's one point where I'm sprinting and like I went into an elevator and it closed the door and brought me up. I was like, no, god damn it.
Right.
The courier thing was the thing, like that was like 4 tries. It is like 5 minutes. I did die on the 3rd try right before the end. Like right there. I think I ran through that door. There's one time, I guess you can go multiple ways.
Yeah,
But
did you go to the right or to
I
the
went
left?
I went left. I went left.
I went
I
left
went
and,
right.
and I
Oh.
like twice this thing got me, and it didn't kill me both times, but one time it did kill me. I ran through a door, and right there is one of those spinning fans, and
Oh,
I was
fuck,
I was sprinting. Yeah, but those courier quests are good for someone like me, because this is how I'm playing the game all the time. It's just blistering my way through everything like a
Right.
complete asshole, and this is like you have to play the game that way. So it worked out well for me.
When I finally got that one done, like I had an immaculate run, wasn't touched. Then like the long hallway before the end, suddenly I got hit twice. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm running down the hall with this
Yeah.
dining hall where he is. I got like nothing. I have like a
same.
pixel. I'm like, for the love of God, and I
my
barely
God.
made it.
I
was
took
so
a video
relieved.
of mine. I'll share mine because mine was the same way. It was like barely, like maybe a pixel.
So did you
I
finish
couldn't.
that whole like 5-part quest, the Taste of
Yeah.
Farloom thing? Okay,
I
I did
did
that
all
too.
I just
of
did that.
that.
Yeah.
For the pale
Yeah.
oil and that
Yep.
helps a lot.
Yeah,
I
it's
I
a-
couldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's incredible. Just like there are some upgrades that you would expect and are important upgrades, and just getting to them is a lot. Like the first time I beat the game, I didn't have one of them where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I could quote unquote beat the game without this. It's a whole
Yep.
area you have to do. And once you get that, it's such a relief. It's an emotional experience just unlocking it. They know what they're doing. It's neat.
I like the amount of like mystery stuff where it's like, obviously a billion people are playing this and writing guides and stuff like that, but there's still like to today, there are still people being like, okay, so I think this is how you get, whatever this character is to join you in the forum fight, or like, okay, so Act 3, it turns out you don't need to get every flea. You actually, I think it triggered for me after I did this and this, but like, and so people are still trying to figure out exactly what you need to do for certain things.
There was one of those where God, this is a quest forever ago, so I won't be spoiling any details because I can't remember any of the details. But I was talking to someone else about it, And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I picked that thing up. It was just laying on the ground right there. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm looking here. I've done everything you said you did. It's not here. And I'm like, "All right, whatever. I must just not have things set up right." And apparently, I changed the world so that thing wasn't there anymore, and now was at a shop. And apparently, the shopkeeper was just like, he picked it up. And now he's selling it to me. And so I had to spend money on it instead. And it was like, I could have got it for free, but because I didn't, I had to like do this whole other thing. And to get that, I had to like unlock a quest or whatever, do a whole other quest. So there's a lot of like interlocking, interchangeable ways these things can work. And that is fascinating me as well.
I think I saw the opposite of that because like there's a merchant, apparently, if you go to them early on, I think it's the cracked mask or whatever, which is a really helpful tool. But if you go to the merchant in the first like half of the game, you can buy it for like a bunch of rosaries or whatever. But when I got there, apparently I was far enough in where like the merchant was dead and the mask was just laying on the floor, so I got it for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's really neat how the world does evolve like that in some interesting, mostly evolving the NPCs. And that's another kind of very Dark Souls-y thing. Almost kind of done better here. Dark Souls, those games can drive me crazy sometimes with the whole like, do this, then this NPC goes there, and then you can do this quest. And you just never know any of that unless you follow a guide. Something, maybe it's just because of the 2D nature and some of the more linear backtracking, or everyone's following the same path to backtrack. You just come across these people and these places so much more often, so you can see these subtle changes. I mean, there's that first town you go to, there's an amazing moment where, something very interesting happens there. Like, oh, this is happening right now. Okay. Just all sorts of fun surprises like that. These are like my favorite kind of game. I love Metroidvanias. I just absolutely do. If you ask me what my favorite genre is, probably going to say this. So just having a giant one of these right now live up to the insane amount of hype that it got, almost an unfair amount of hype, and still be able to deliver, I think it's incredibly impressive.
Doing it at a scale that we haven't really seen before. I mean, if anything has done it was Hollow Knight 1, and now this is even bigger, and the fact that they can maintain this level of that compelling nature of wanting you to go to the next thing, despite it being like, man, I've done so much. I just want the game to be over. It's like, no, is there more to do? I'm ready to go. That's a hard thing to pull off, and they really, really do here.
I think, gun to my head right now, if you ask me to do a Mount Rushmore of Metroidvanias, non-binding, I think I'd say Symphony of the Night, Super Metroid, Silksong, and then probably either Prince of Persia or Bloodstained, I think. But I really do think this is like one of the best ever. And like, honestly, if you remove nostalgia, I'm not going to say anything until some time, recency bias and all that. But like, I don't know. It's up there, if not surpassing, I think, everything in this genre,
Yeah. They're like small tidbits that like I have where I prefer the way some other games work. Like I definitely am like, at this point when I'm playing one of these games that has a lot of focus on combat, I like it when, and this is like not a criticism of the game, because the game's not trying to be this, but this is just a personal preference. When the enemies can hurt you by touching their body, I want them to hurt you when they do attacks. That's like something that's happened. I think that's Prince of Persia. It's a handful. Like Dead Cells is like that. If they do attacks, and I'm like, that just feels like the combat is like more visceral, more real to me when it's like that here, as opposed to this kind of feeling a little bit like, if you touch them, they're gonna hurt you. But that doesn't mean like they haven't like done the best version of this kind of combat. They have. It's such a fun game to actually use the systems to attack enemies and figure out your tools and which ones you like and upgrade that stuff. It's all really well done.
That would typically get me when it's like a boss fight and you get that stagger and they're kind of like down on the ground and you run up and you're like, ooh, I got him, I'm safe. And it's like, oh, wait, I still got to make sure I'm not too close to him,
Right, don't just run right into them.
Those moments, though, when you're able to just get a bunch of hits in, when it's like you've
so
done a boss fight enough times where it's just like, every attack, and then when they go to phase 2, phase 3, what those attacks are, and you just go in there, and sometimes you'll be overconfident and fuck up immediately, but then you'll have those times where it's like a boss that you've died 20 times on, and like you don't get hit once, and it's just like, oh my God, that's the
sometimes
best.
You squeeze it out, but sometimes you downloaded the boss so much that it's just this flawless run, and you just know exactly what your windows are. You can get 1 hit in, 2 hit in. When you could pogo off the enemy. God, I love pogoing off of enemies. Anything that's like DuckTales, that feels so freaking good.
Well, you're one of the freaks that does the old one. Me and Grab are part of the new school. We did diagonal. Always diagonal. Diagonals go boom, 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 back and forth. And
back and forth.
When
I
unlocked that Hollow Knight 1 moveset, I'm like, I could pogo really good with this. That's why I like it.
I have not done the original pogo once in this game. I got the crest. I have not even equipped it. No
I
way.
love the pogoing. It's incredible how good the horizontal movement can feel once you get the kind of grapple thing and you can grapple and dash. You realize that's basically 2 dashes. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, by the end, like I won't say every single ability, but like every jump you do, it feels like there's like 3+ things you can do to extend it vertically, horizontally, slower.
It's great to like go in a room where it's like, oh yeah, I remember these things I was supposed to use for platforming before, and just jumping past the entire room, and it's like a long
rooms
room
that you died a million times on. It's like boom, 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 and you're bouncing off stuff. And there's those rooms with the gears that go around, and you got to like hit them at different points and then catch up to the gear later. And
there's one. God, in the cog place, the clockwork place. There's a room over to the right where it's like there are some those spinning spikes that you're supposed to bounce off, and it's like, oh, clearly I was supposed to do this later when I at least had like one more movement ability. Like if you have the grapple hook there, it makes it a lot easier. And I just I raw dogged that. It was
you did?
So I'm like
I did that with all my mobility stuff, and it was difficult. Like, holy shit.
That was a fun thing to do, though.
They did a great job. Good. They did a good job. I'm excited to see it through to its very end. I love games all about little guys, little creatures. You know who else is a little guy? Chibi-Robo.
Yeah.
Sean, you've been playing Chibi-Robo. I know Dan checked that out a bit ago. This is on the GameCube NSO app on Nintendo Switch 2 now. How are you finding Chibi-Robo?
I am finding Chibi-Robo not on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm playing it on that big old thing back there, the CRT, and my self-mod Wii.
Very nice.
Playing it on real hardware. This game, I have some fond memories of because it was sort of the one of the perennial demo disc games from when I was a kid. Like Kmart or whatever had that in the machine forever. And whenever we would go to a store, I would see like, how quickly can I beat the demo? How far can I get a demo? Whatever it may be. This is the first time I've really just sat down with the game and tried to just play it through. I do think that expectations are definitely allowing me to enjoy it more than Dan did when he was trying it out. Because for me, I knew that this game is like, very much a time management game. It's an adventure game more than it is a platformer, which is something that I'm also familiar with playing, games like, say, Persona and RPGs, visual novels, that kind of thing. A lot of text, a lot of like trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What's the next puzzle piece to get this person's storyline to continue forward? And so going into expecting that, I've been really enjoying it, especially because I play it in bite-sized bursts. Like it's my morning coffee game where I'll make a cup, I'll sit on my little footstool back there in front of the CRT and just play, while I'm sipping my coffee for like 15, 20 minutes at a time. That's it for the day. I just go do whatever else. And then the next day I come back, do another 15, 20 minutes at a time. And so I've been playing for a few weeks now. I'm only like, 6 hours in. I think it's maybe like an 8 to 10 hour game total if you like want to do everything. And so I think doing it in that way has been a lot of fun to just go around the house, do the little chores, like clean this thing up, talk to this person, get a reward, advance the story, maybe fight enemies, which you get later on. And especially once you start getting things like the ladder that allows you to reach the high places, the game really opens up and you can find more activities to do. But I think it's a cute little cozy game that I've been really enjoying playing in that way.
Yeah, and I'm going to be clear that like I did enjoy that game, and it wasn't really the more adventure game. Like the thing that kind of turned me off a little bit wasn't so much that like, oh, I thought it was a platformer and it's more of an adventure game. Like those elements, once I understood that that's the type of game it was, didn't bother me that much. It is honestly just that text speed stuff, and every time like a cutscene starts, I'm like, just drove me insane.
It is very much a you thing, the way you're reacting to it, I think, though, because it's not all text, to be clear. Like, I think maybe that's how it sounded to people who don't know last time. It's one of those smaller Nintendo games from back then where it doesn't have voice acting in the proper sense as like the Animal Crossing gibberish, presumably because, it's cheaper to do that, cheaper to localize and everything like that. So they do kind of a more classic adventure game thing of the text moves across the screen at the speed that the character like is talking or, quote unquote talking, and you can't skip it, which I agree with you. It not being skippable is the problem. Cause like, especially if you like talk to someone and you just accidentally press A and it starts like a long chain of text. I'm like,
yeah,
all right, that is annoying. Like, I'll give you that for sure. But
it's the longer ones. It's like if it was just like, oh, every time I saved or whatever, like that's fine, or just a few lines of dialogue. It was the thing that broke me was that like fortune teller thing in the basement where it's like I accidentally did it again, and I'm like, how is this? It feels like it's 10 minutes of explaining pick A or B, and you got a 50% chance. That's it. Oh my god!
It
But
is
I
genuinely like a solid like minute and a half segment that you set up there if you accidentally do it again. So yeah,
it's
I get
so
what you
much. I will go, but like it's obviously right now there's so many other things game wise to play, but like it's gonna be on my Switch. I'm gonna be on a plane at some point. I'm gonna look at NSO and be like, what do I want to pull up, and I'll keep going with that. But like,
if you're in the
I don't
mood
dislike it.
Yeah, if you're in the mood for something smaller and slower, then I think you're in the right headspace to appreciate what it's doing. But it's definitely, the text is something that I know even people have fixed in like fan patches and stuff. So like, I get it. That would be a nice thing to apply if you're playing in Dolphin or whatever you might be doing. But I also think that if you approach it as, it's a slow game in general, then I think it's a fun time.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are smaller, Sean, you've also been messing around with the Retroid Pocket Classic.
Oh, I sure have, Mikey. I've been looking forward to talking about this one. So yeah, let me I actually have it here, and I can hold it up in front of the camera. And look at this Game Boy Color looking guy right here. For audio listeners, it is very much a mix of like the analog Pocket with original Game Boy Color. It has that little like battery hump in the back, and then that is also used to have some triggers. Otherwise, pretty standard D-pad, 4 face buttons, start, select, and then the best part is this square OLED screen.
Wow, that's sharp.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And that's an install
is
from Sega Saturn. I like that guy.
Yeah, I have a couple Saturn games on here. I fired the Sakura Wars 2 fan translation up last night because I got busy with so much other stuff. I haven't had a chance to play it, but I am loving this thing. I have not fallen down the retro gaming handheld hole that Grub has been for a long time.
Been waiting down here for you, brother.
No, I'm down here with you.
Yeah.
Dan, I know you got into not too long ago. But I was waiting for one that like has just all the right little stuff for me. And this is the one because the price is also right too. It's only $120 ish. I think that's been variable as tariffs and whatnot, but around $120 MSRP. And I think I love that it's in the kiwi green. That's what I had as a kid.
I had that one too.
I think it's just the right balance of everything. It's powerful enough to do. You can do all the way up to PS2 and GameCube on this little dude. Not that you necessarily want to, because it doesn't have an analog stick. But like, I was trying out Final Fantasy X on PS2 last night. And it was running fine. So like, yeah, if you want to play like old school Game Boy Color, Advance, like NES, Super NES, that kind of stuff, it's great for that. And then also like the RPGs and stuff on the more advanced consoles like PS1 and 2. You can do it. It's awesome. And the screen is what really sold it for me.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That looked huge, because I've got the ones like, as far as that form factor,
really
the analog's great, but also for a cheaper, smaller one, like the Trim UI brick, I like a lot. But that screen looks fantastic. Did you do anything to alter the OS, like MinUI and Muos and like all these different ones I've done?
So this runs Android, which is great because then it's very easy to tweak. And I'm also very familiar with Android, so I knew how to change some things. Like, it has a lock screen by default, kind of like the Switch, I guess. But it's like the Android lock screen. You can't just press A to dismiss it, but I just turned the lock screen off because I feel like that just makes more sense for a handheld. And if you check out Retro Game Core on YouTube, Russ has great videos for setting up Android handhelds and for setting up.
I've used them for everything.
Awesome. What I have is Emulation Station with the art book theme on it.
I think that's what I have on my Steam Deck. That Emulation Station's good. Yeah.
If I go into like a Game Boy Advance game as like the cover art and then it starts playing a little video.
I love this presentation. I really enjoy all the fan sort of skins on top of the OSs for these things. I think it's cool.
Yeah, and I love that. I don't think it works offline, but at least when I'm connected to Wi-Fi, I basically use RetroArch for almost everything in here, and even the when I'm not using RetroArch, when I'm using like something standalone, it still supports it. retro achievements. This is a cool way to get retro achievements in games that I've played a million times. Like my go-to wind down at the end of the night game is Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. And just having something new to do in games like that I played a million times is really cool. Just I log into my retro achievements account, I turn on hardcore mode, just get like, the star or whatever the hell you get. I haven't checked yet. A little something extra for not using save states and everything. And that's a cool way to just re-experience these retro games. So yeah, I think for most people, this handheld is like the sweet spot. For anything bigger than this, like playing through a full GameCube game or anything newer than that, I have a Steam Deck for that, and that works well. For laying in bed, for having something that's perfect for on the go, I'm really, really digging this. And they also have some cool other options. It comes in most of the Game Boy Color colors. There's also Atomic Purple. There's also a 6-button version that's like styled after the Sega Saturn controller. So if you really want to play like Sega games and arcade games and stuff, it's great for that. On top of having a fighting game fanatic D-pad that I just love. I'm very particular about that stuff because I play pad in fighting games, and this is maybe the single best D-pad I've ever used.
Wow,
so it's
good.
Yeah, it's like the Vita, but it's matte, so your finger slides across it really easily. Just a great handheld. I've been having a blast playing that for the most part all week.
Yeah, and I like something like in terms of form factor and price and everything that's like that, because it's like obviously, Steam Deck's great and stuff for like a long flight or something. Yeah. Analog Pocket is a really kind of higher end thing that's really great. But like sometimes it's just like, oh, I've got a 45-minute taxi ride or something. I'm not going to bring my Steam Deck or something, but it's like I'll put a little like Trim UI brick in my pocket or something.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's like, I'm just going to mess around with WarioWare or whatever. It's not expensive. If you can throw it in a bag and not have to have a case or anything. It's just like it just seems lower stakes, but still gives you what you want from that.
Right, and the form factor too. If you're especially if you're playing Game Boy or Game Boy Color, it's like perfect for that because it's designed for that. But also, like the big thing for me with the OLED screen is that, especially when you're playing at night, that means that any bezels, any black bars around the game, like if you're playing Game Boy Advance, just disappear. You don't even notice that they're there because the screen is off in those sections. So it's great for playing at any really of those old form factors, that even if they're not quite fitting into the square aspect ratio. Or something like the Trim UI brick, is much cheaper. You can get that for like $50 or something nowadays, especially if you get on AliExpress. But that also, the screen is worse, like the ergonomics are maybe a little bit worse. Speaking of ergonomics, I did see on Etsy, like you can get a nice grip, like a controller grip for this thing. So that's my only criticism, is it's a little hard to hit the triggers if you're playing Metroid or something. Sure. But I'm just gonna slap a little 3D printed $15 grip on there, and then that'll be perfect for when I want to play those games.
Nice. Sean, you're using this one. It uses Android, right? Do you know if it has an accelerometer in it? Because
Sure does.
I play Twisted on my phone because
Twisted great on the phone. Wow, it does in there. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Have you tried Twisted?
You could use Twisted and Kirby
Yoshi
Tilt and Tumble,
Topsy-Turvy.
Don't do Yoshi's Topsy-Turvy. You can just throw that in the garbage where it belongs.
Yeah, it's not
I played Twisted, and then I immediately tried Yoshi's Topsy-Turvy on my phone. I'm like, this sucks.
Twisted's amazing, though.
Twisted's awesome. Yeah, God, Twisted.
Good point though with Android though. You can also just play Android games on here. So download Stardew Valley and Balatro and stuff, like modern Android ports. Y'all know that Prince of Persia, the Crown Throne, whatever which call it, is on Android.
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. Really? Thank you. I knew that.
Wow.
So you can just play that on that device.
Yeah, you can play like some modern Android ports on it. And it's awesome.
Wow, okay.
Once again, Retroid Pocket Classic. If anyone wants to check it out, obviously. Small disclaimer, not an ad, nothing like that. I just bought it with my own money. I just really, really like this.
Yep. Speaking of Prince of Persia,
look at that.
That was an easy one. I actually checked out.
But make it clever. Hang on. But hey, Mike. Make it clever though. Don't just say speaking of it. Do a fun thing.
I was doing. I had another one in the chamber. Is really bad about how. That thing looks like half the size of a head. So Dan and Jeff been playing Henry. That was a bit rough. So we're going to go with this one. We're going to go Prince of Persia. I'll think of something else for you two.
No, Jan would have something so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not your Jan. I'll try.
You'll never be Jan.
How dare you stand where you are. All right. Hey, Rogue Prince of Persia. I know. I checked this out on Mega Man Monday Evening Gaming at Mike's at Night last night. I know no one wants to hear this right now. There's a lot of great 2D action-based games. We already had a surprisingly
Just say
great
it's bad.
Prince of Persia game.
Shinobi and
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden and okay.
This game rules, actually. This
Uh-huh.
game is
God.
fantastic. This game feels so freaking good. Yes, Jeff.
I just want you to set the table. How do you feel about Dead Cells again? Because you often denigrate it, but I can't tell if that's you
That's
just trying to make
insane.
me mad.
Yeah. I think Dead Cells is okay.
That's not good enough. I hate
I-
It's a lot better than okay.
think
Half of
this
this
is-
podcast thinks Dead Cells is okay.
Yeah.
You bad people.
I think. And look, so people who worked on it was not the main Dead Cells team. It was people
No,
who
this is
worked
the
on,
team that took over support after the main Dead Cells team went on to do, I can't remember now.
Yeah. Right.
Like a Hades
So-
like or something.
This game it has some of that DNA for sure. There's a lot of 2D action stuff going on. But the reason why I like it a lot more than Dead Cells is that you also have platforming, which is an important part of the Prince of Persia equation. So, you're doing air dashes, you're grabbing onto, kind of the poles and swinging off of them or grabbing them and going down. The really neat thing is that anytime there's a background layer, so like a lot of times there will be a wall behind you. Sometimes it's a crumbling wall, so it's not always behind you. But if there is a wall behind you, then you can do the wall run on it. You can do that
okay,
in
cool.
360 degrees of movement. So you can wall run up, and then you can jump at the end of it, and then you can air dash to the right and grab a pole and jump off of that into another wall and do that. The movement can feel so good. And part of
That's
that's
about
just
the Z-axis when you say 360 degrees. You can run in a circle on the wall.
you could move in any direction on that wall. Not
Is it
okay.
a time
not-
thing?
not
Like you'll
into
fall?
back.
Will you fall
What's
at
that?
a certain point? Or can you
No,
just
no,
run
no. It's not forever.
indefinitely?
You get like a little
Okay.
burst, right? You can run up the wall for a little bit. So what I'm saying is you can run up diagonally, you can run up, you can go to the right. It's not just that
Oh, it's
classic
8
Prince of Persia.
directions.
Yeah, 8 directions. 3. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what. Well, it's not just 8 though. It is the whole radial thing there. But yeah,
Is
not
it
in or
analog?
out.
It's analog.
Yeah. So
movement?
it's actually it is you have to play on an analog stick. It's kind of like Ori in that
yeah.
sense.
Okay.
Because they
Interesting,
want you
okay.
using all of those movements. But yeah, this is a roguelike, like the name suggests. So you are kind of starting off with you're picking between a couple weapons, again like Dead Cells, and there's things like daggers, or you can have a giant axe, and it's slower obviously, but going to be more powerful. And there's the resource you get, gold just for that run, and then there's these gems you can use to upgrade your character more permanently. But it really is just that combination of okay, this combat feels really good and smooth. You can vault over enemies, which you're doing constantly, right? Because they're doing these slow attacks in front of you. So you hit them twice, you vault over them. You also have this kick, so you can kick an enemy into another enemy, and now they're dazed. Kick them into a wall, kick them off of a ledge, kick a pot into them. So that's another factor in all of that. So yeah, Lost Crown had incredible combat. This isn't exactly the same thing. There's no juggling or stuff like that. This combat still feels very responsive, very good, and has an excellent flow to it. And when there's larger groups of enemies and you are doing things like hitting this guy and wall running up there to attack that guy for a little bit, you're kind of constantly moving while you're attacking. Also, it's a very pretty game. I'm not even sure how I would describe the art style. It almost has that rotoscope quality of the original Prince of Persia's, but just much more vibrant, much more colorful. Really interesting soundtrack that it has a little bit of that old world sound, but very
But
modern.
lots of Godsmack. Yeah.
No, it's not, yes, this isn't freaking Warrior with it. Absolutely.
Classic.
Not.
Yeah.
But gosh, it just felt so smooth playing this thing. And again, I love that platforming. And sometimes you would get to challenge rooms where it is just all about the wall running, and then actual walls, and then that wall behind you, and then you're grabbing onto the pole and you're jumping over there. Boss fights are very good, very Hades-like with the boss fights, where that's where the time mechanic comes in, is that when you die, he has a magic pendant that just starts it over again. So that's where you get that Prince of Persia time rewind thing happening here. So
Okay.
you see the boss, and he does, it's like Hades. He very much will be the line oh, it's this guy again, except now the boss doesn't remember, but you do. But yeah, the bosses are really neat. They have mechanics that, again, really depend on you having to use that wall running. I fought this giant behemoth who was sending these shockwaves. Some of them were really big. You can't just jump over it. I had to kind of scurry up the wall behind me to get over it. I don't know. I was very impressed. I think people knock this game a little bit, say that it's not very long for one of these. So maybe it doesn't have the most, okay, you beat a run, what do you do now things. And I got, a good deal past halfway point. just in a few runs of doing that. So maybe it's not the longest one of these, but I think it feels so good.
You might have said it, but just to clarify, so are you progressing things outside of your runs to like make it easier or upgrading your
so like there's like
what's permanent here?
So you do actually just level up, right? Like you get experience for killing enemies, and every time you level up, you get a point. And there's essentially skill trees. And you can kind of go that to do things like you have like a Dark Souls style potion, right? And you can carry 2 of those now. You can start a run with more health, start a run with gold coins, which is what you use at shops and things like that. But you can also go to an armorer and unlock a new weapon that can show up during your runs now, or a new amulets or things that kind of like the per run bonuses, like now plus 10 to your weapon damage, or some of them are a bit goofier than that, right? So a lot of the typical stuff that you are expecting here. I just think it looks really pretty, sounds really pretty, and the movement is fantastic.
I predict that at some point in the next 6 to 8 months, there's going to be a down week or 2, and I'm going to play this game, and I'm going to come onto this podcast, and I'm going to, not as a joke, be like, this game is fucking awesome. I can't believe no one's brought this game up on this podcast. That's going to happen.
That's fair. Yeah,
that sounds right.
I think Mary was already telling you about it on Firescape at one point.
Mary, Bonk, like, several people have told me about it now, and I'll get to it eventually. Yes.
And someone in chat said like I'm not as far into it as I thought, even. So there might be more to the game still.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I really do get the impression a lot of people kind of don't want to hear that this game is good right now, because it was in early access for a bit, so it felt a bit like, that's a game that already kind of happened. I don't want to think about this now. No, the 1.0 release was very recent, and it's again, I know there's other things you probably want to play, especially things kind of like this. We had Ninja Gaiden, we had Shinobi, we got Hollow Knight right now. So, they aren't roguelikes, but they're 2D action games, and that's what this is. It's not getting the attention the other ones, but I think it's very nice. I think people should check it out if they like these
it's on PS Plus, or at least the second tier of it, whatever that's called.
I think it might be someone in my chat said it was on Game Pass, or in the Giant Bomb chat when I was playing it. I'm not sure if that's right.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass. So yeah, I mean, there's ways to check this out. Gosh, it's interesting how they've been doing good stuff with Prince of Persia, and I'm not sure how sticky it is, but the quality of it has been fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this out at some point. I'll put it on the Steam Deck, and I'll probably just get it to it after Silksong at some point.
What's the first name? I bet does not have any Persian origins or counterparts. Henry.
Oh.
Speaking of Henrys, Jeff Grubb, and a bit of Dan, you as well, been checking out Henry Halfhead. All I know about this game is that Jeff's kids are apparently obsessed with it. Otherwise, I don't really know what this is. How are you finding it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game that kids can get obsessed with. It's a Geist-like. You play.
Of course.
What? Duh. You play as Henry Halfhead, and you go through the entire life of this little guy. So you start as a baby, and you're going to end when he dies, and all the stuff that happens in between. And so it's these vignettes, and the gameplay is you take Henry and you slide him across the floor. He's the top half of the head. So he just kind of, who knows what's going on underneath there, honestly, but he's sliding across the floor.
It's a very violent prologue.
Oh, yeah, exactly. How his origin story is grim.
Yeah.
You go, so you're in like your crib, your room, and you can hop out of it, and then you can start sliding around. You find an object, you look at the object with your camera, you press a button, you zoom into the object, and now Henry is that object. So if you become a crayon, you can move around as a crayon, and then you could hold down a button to sort of like up.
Yeah,
a crayon. Yeah, that's how we say it in old Michigan. You can set yourself.
Wait, what was wrong with what he said? Oh no, is this the mid
crayon?
I used to say crown as a kid, and it's crayon, right?
Yeah, we say crayon. Yeah,
crayon like cranberry,
like cranberry.
Yeah, crayon.
Yeah, crayon.
What do other people say?
Crayon.
They say crayon.
You pronounce the on?
Yeah, like
crayon.
The things that are there in the word intentionally,
like play on, like that company.
Listen, you guys could be mad about it, but go complain to my entire culture, not to me. I'm not.
Yeah,
I complain about your culture every day, Jeff.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. I don't. I'm just a representative. All right.
We're all from like the upper Midwest.
So what happens once you're a crayon, Jeff Grubb?
You can draw.
You can make funny pictures.
Yeah, so you'll get to a point where like you're at school and you need to do a test. So like it gives you, it's one of these Untitled Goose Game likes where you have a character, you can interact with the world, and here's a list of tasks you need to accomplish as that character. We've had a few of these.
It's like time flies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's a handful of other ones that have been like this. But this one does a good job of sort of just like setting the tasks so they're fun, they're interesting. You're gonna go get a test off the desk, bring it back to yourself, go get like a writing utensil, check the correct answer for a math quiz. It's like 2 + 2 and stuff like that, and then turn in the paper into the basket on the teacher's desk. It's all stuff kind of like that. Excuse me, but it's it's fun, but it's not like super engaging for adults. My kids, however, have been super into it.
Yeah, Grub, I was kind of waiting for it to like, all right, when's this gonna like kind of like open up a little bit, and when's this narrator gonna shut up? And like I was waiting, and it just kind of kept going from like vignette to vignette, and the narrator is very like, and Henry went to Betty Bye, and then he went and he drew for school, and it's like every single fucking thing you're doing. I'm like, okay, this guy needs to shut the fuck up.
Dan's British accent, that was good.
Yeah, it was driving me fucking nuts. So like that keeps up the whole time.
That's the game. That's what this game is
I get why kids might like it. I definitely was waiting for something more,
So Emmy said the reason she likes is like you never really get a game that's just about a whole person's life. She loved that it was about starting as a baby, going to school, getting a job, getting married.
It's
and
the
then
boyhood
dying.
of video games.
Yeah, the boyhood of video games.
That goes past college.
I will. I'll sit her down in front of Benjamin Button this weekend. You're right. That's an oversight.
Right. I still want to see that. I need to see that.
That's all right.
I think like these kinds of games really just click with kids, where it's just about play. It's about like come up with an idea, and then there's 2-player. So her and her sister sit down and they just kind of play this thing together, and they come up with little stories and tell each other like what's going on, and then eventually they like need help, and I have to go in there and like do stuff for them. I'm sorry, I lose my voice.
Whoa,
Whoa, you got this.
I looked up pictures of this game. I pulled up the Steam page. This is way more like adorable than I thought.
Yeah, it's got a great
Somebody
look.
said you're half a head skittering around on the
bleeding.
ground. No,
it's very cartoony, very cute.
It's like every level seems to be, maybe it changes later on, but it seems to be like an endless void kind of, and there's just the stuff you need to play,
and then you can like
in a
open
very
a
cartoony
door
fashion,
and it like will reveal more stuff inside the void, but it's never gonna it never opens up. That's not happening. This is all about the stuff's right there. You work a job and you have to like put like you have to start sorting stuff at a sorting facility, and of course if you really think about it, you could be like, well, what if I just zooped myself into the thing where everything's coming from, and then I could just move it over the thing where it needs to go, and the kids figured that out on their own, and that was really cool. So it's adorable. It's definitely like the Tiny Terry's Turboland. Tiny Terry, Tiny Terry's Turboland. Turbo Trip. Thank you.
Yes.
Where it's like it's the kids can just hop in there and start playing and figure it out, and then there's just a little bit more they might need help with, but for the most part they can just have fun from the word go, and this really nailed it.
It seems perfect for kids because it's the void, and then only the stuff you need in order to like play the game, do the gameplay like you mentioned. This does seem like it would be a perfect game for kids to play. This is cool. I dig this.
Chat says, Dan, stop trying to consume media for children and getting mad about it. Yeah, I guess that's... won't somebody make a video game for a 41-year-old man? Finally, somebody, come on, be brave enough.
Scientists just don't think it's possible, Dan. It hasn't happened yet.
It's in the wrong industry.
All right, you goobers, we gotta hurry up. There's a couple other games to talk about. Speaking of going fast...
Oh, my God.
There it is.
Sean, you've been checking out the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds Open Network test.
Yeah, this did happen a couple weekends ago, but we had so much to talk about last week. I prioritized other things, but I did want to bring it up since it's a kind of a slower week for me in general. I've been mostly playing on the Retroid. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I think maybe things are stirring a little bit. I'm seeing more articles. I think it was Ken over at Kotaku put one out about this too. And hey guys, what if Sega puts out the better kart racer this year?
Did you see the ad? Because like the ad
processing.
It basically makes fun of the open road stuff from Mario Kart World. It's like, do you want to like race on these super awesome tracks, or do you want to go out on the open road? It shows like a lame camper and just like a barren wasteland.
Yeah, it's the old Genesis does what Nintendo, or the TV strapped to a car ad.
I think what Nintendo does. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, that's funny. You should go for it. Why not?
But yeah, I played the network test a couple weekends ago. I played a lot of its solo, I played it with friends, and it like just feels really good, and it's kind of just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with some of their own like ideas on top. And I think that's kind of what people want out of this genre right now. Just give us like a different game that's still like mechanically very much what 8 was already doing. Yeah, you got
how
some.
did you? Yeah, how do you feel about Sonic All Stars Racing Transformed, which is the official team?
Transformed, I liked a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
that's been
Do you
quite a
think this is
while
better?
ago. From what I've played, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I do like Transform, but something about Transform felt, I don't know, just a little generic. It's hard to put my finger on what even. I
Well,
do think
That was made by
Yeah.
Sumo Digital, right? And this is made by Team Sonic. The Sonic team's actually working on this game.
I guess
which is kind of
maybe, yeah.
strange.
And you can also tell because there's some small stuff about like, hey, these characters talk a little bit too much
They
sometimes.
talk a lot, and there's something about the way Sonic characters talk that is so like 2000 Saturday morning cartoon that I kind of can't stand. Right? I don't know if
Yeah.
that's too specific. That makes no
It's-
sense. But
it's
something
kind
about
of-
their chatter is it's a little cringy. Some might say.
It's a bit like the bad anime. It's a lot of time how I
Yeah.
think of it.
Mike, you
they're
just can't
being a
handle
little over the
media
top.
for children.
You got me there, buddy. You got me there.
But yeah, the feel of racing is very good. They do have like the flying segments and the water segments. Hey, where have we seen that before? They do the kind of interesting thing with the CrossWorlds stuff where every race will be 3 laps, and the second lap, whoever is in the lead, Mike's talked about this a little bit, but whoever's in the lead gets to pick. You go to one other course, like not even from the cup, but just a different course entirely for 1 lap. And then you go back to this one. But then you also end the cup with like a greatest hits of the 3 tracks you just played. It's a bit of an odd layout for a cup, but it's kind of fresh, I think. What's really fresh is that there's a currency system where as you do well in races, as you finish well, you get currency. And you know how it's kind of annoying when you're trying to get the best possible score on Grand Prix and like, oh, great, I got second one time because I got blue shelled. Well, you can spend that currency to then retry the race. So you can like stay in the Grand Prix. And granted, you'll only get some of these bonuses once. So it's like you can only do it so many times in a row. But that way it's a little bit easier to like, oh, I kind of got screwed over by their blue shell equivalent. Let me try that one again. I think that's really cool. They're doing interesting stuff with the multiplayer too. Like during the network test they had, they called I keep wanting to call it a Splatfest or whatever, but because they advertised it as like a festival thing where you race with different rules. Normally multiplayer is just the racing like single player, but in this different rules one, you are on a team. It's 12 characters in a race, and you're on a team of 4, and you get bonuses for doing various things, such as if you bump into each other, you'll get a score bonus. If you'll, sometimes it's like targeting with items or stuff like that. They'll have special rules for you to do. So then, based on your placement, like in Mario Kart, how your team does, you'll get a score, and then you'll get the bonus score on top. And the goal is to get the best score overall. So how well did you race? And how well did you adhere to the special rules? I think that's an interesting little twist. And combine that with the fact that, yeah, it is like every Sonic character you could want. They got Joker is in there. They got a bunch of Nickelodeon characters, Minecraft Steve, Hatsune Miku. Like it's looking pretty cool, actually. And it does sting a little bit that it's a $70 game instead of a $60. That's also $10 cheaper than Mario Kart.
Yeah,
it's worth.
it's a steal, yeah.
Yeah, I just think they nailed feeling like a Mario Kart game. They have a lot of interesting stuff that they add on top that makes it feel like their own. I'm curious to see what other people think of it because I found myself enjoying it a bit more than Mario Kart World because World wasn't really what I wanted that game to be. And even if the racing is still good in Mario Kart, I do prefer this more traditional, just, 3 laps, Grand Prix. That's what the game is, racing game. I had fun with it.
Yeah, $70. That sounds like a premium game for premium gamers.
Oh, geez. Thanks,
just
Randy.
Just like recent release Borderlands 4, which we checked out for a while ourselves on UPF. Dan, I think you've been playing more of it on your own than either of us have.
I mean, not really. I played a couple hours, kind of getting ready for that UPF, and I haven't played it since the UPF. So I guess, including that, I've done maybe 4 hours of the game.
Yeah.
I said it on UPF. It's definitely better than 3, which is good. You know, tonally, it's not as obnoxious. I will say there's just not. It's in the face of so much stuff I want to play right now. And when I'm playing something that's kind of like, okay, this is like a better version of that older thing than the last time they tried.
Well, you know what
not
it is?
The best selling point for me, you know?
Yeah, if all of us were on every night playing it, then it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll go and play Borderlands. But when everyone else is playing something else, it's like, this is a game that you want to just, like, the whole point of, like, when we say this game's better in Borderlands 3, it gets out of its own way in a lot of ways and just lets you hang out with your friends and shoot stuff in a fun way. It's really good at all that.
For that. It's
ideal,
when we did that UPF, I mean, it is just, it really hits that sweet spot of like, we're doing things. We're all moving towards this objective. It's very clear what the objective is. There's markers on everything. We don't need to stop and consider anything or think. We just point and shoot and talk and look at our guns and decide which one to equip and then move on to the next thing. Rinse and repeat. There's, you know, you can do the grapple stuff, the glider stuff, like things that make the mobility more fun. It's definitely like an open world in the way that the like previous ones were not. The maps are better, but like it is still mindless, decent action. And I think in the face of so much like really stellar stuff that's out right now, I have not thought about going back to it, you know?
Yeah, but people know if Borderlands is for them, right? Like that, like, and if this is what you've been waiting for, you do have friends that you know are going to be on every night. It's delivering all that stuff. I'm with you where it's like, there's no way this is the game I'm picking out of the lineup of just all-time bangers that I got before me right now. But hey, if this is the thing you've been waiting for, it'll do the thing it says it was going to do.
Yeah, like we are all super in the trenches playing everything for our jobs and everything. If you're someone who just like has a PlayStation and buys a couple games a year and you got the group you played the last few games with and you just have been looking forward to doing that again, you're going to love this. It's totally that.
It had been so long since I played one of these because I didn't check out Borderlands 3. People are so kind of down on it. I didn't really mess around with Tiny Tina's. So there was a bit of like, oh yeah, I liked Borderlands 1 and 2 a lot. It's kind of a little cozy being back here. And it was fun running around, shooting things. There's almost a little bit of like, okay, there's a couple new things here. You have that glider. You do have that bike you can summon whenever. But I'm like, could this be a little juicier somehow? Because there's like something meatier maybe they could have added. Maybe they don't need to. Maybe it is just fine that it is one of those hangout games. Although, you know, I played Borderlands 1 and 2. They were hangout games, but they were also games I would just play through the campaign. Very Diablo.
Yeah, I played a lot of Borderlands 1 by myself, yeah.
There's part of me that's almost can't really imagine me wanting to just play this game by myself a whole ton. Maybe it's, you know, a good podcast game, that sort of thing. I just haven't been doing a ton of that.
I was having some total whiplash when I was playing by myself to get that UPF ready because I'd be downstairs playing this and go upstairs, you know, like Bonk's playing Hell Is Us upstairs. Obviously, extremely different game. So I'm not like comparing one to the other, but like sitting down and seeing like, wow, this game that is like almost no HUD and like really it's not going to hold your hand, not going to give you markers. It's just like you discover where you want to go. And then I go downstairs and it's like, here's 400 skill trees and 40 objective markers. And here's your map. And it's like, oh my God, there are just different types of games out there now.
Yeah, like this is a game that still is very much part of its Xbox 360 era roots, for better and for worse, right?
It is the video game. Yes,
yeah, 100%. Absolutely. You know, I don't mean to be as down on it as I'm probably am sounding. I think it's a good game and I think it's fun and I wouldn't mind playing more of it. Maybe my brothers will get into it and I'll check it out some more. I will say, like, I don't know if any of those 4 characters this time around really immediately jumped out to me. I kind of just ended up picking one and being like, yeah, this is okay. I throw axes. That's fine. It wasn't like even that first Borderlands. They all seem kind of interesting and unique to me.
Mordecai and Hawkeye and all that. Like, it was cool. Whereas, like, I think, like, tonally, I think this has shifted, like, a lot of the more obnoxious stuff down, but there's still the parts where they're introducing the characters. Like, here's Vex as the Siren. She's a fucking witch. And okay, all right.
I don't envy them because it's difficult because, and I've seen some people say this, and I think I even maybe agree. It's not an overcorrection from 3, but like part of Borderlands thing is that it's supposed to be funny, and boy, is it hard to be funny, especially when the backbone of your humor is now out of date and kind of out of style. So how do you be funny now? Good luck with that. Job. Glad it's not my problem.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the games this week. We'll take a quick bricky break. We come back. Jeff Grubb's got some news. I hope you saw this breaking Nickelodeon collection thing, Grubb. We gotta talk about the Nickelodeon games.
I refuse.
Okay, well that's all right. He actually scares me, and I can't.
Jan wouldn't
intimidate
cave like that.
Oh, I'm caving. I'm caving, baby. We'll be right back, everybody.
Rub, it's okay. Just look at it, okay? It's fine.
Oh, what the? Wait. Dan, what are you doing here?
Oh, wait, like existentially, or what do you mean?
No, Dan, like here at Giant Bomb, covering games.
Oh, what I do for a living. Okay, well, I'm here because of Game Informer. That's right. Way back in 1993, I saw Game Informer magazine and subscribed for the first time, and it has been a huge part of my life ever since. From working the register at Funkoland and selling subscriptions to starting working there full time in 2009, Game Informer has been there for me the whole time. They mean a ton to me. So it hurt me, just like I know it hurt a lot of you when the unexpected news came down not too long ago that Game Informer was shutting down. But, nay, fear not, I say. That's right, Game Informer is back, and with 100% of the staff that was there when it shut down.
Now, Danny boy, I see that you're holding a magazine right there. Tell me about how that page feels.
I'm telling you, I have held hundreds upon hundreds of Game Informer magazines from 1993 to today, and this is without a doubt the best. I'm feeling this right now.
Ooh.
This is a smooth cover.
Oh.
This is a thick, nice paper here. The print is just good. This is a wonderful quality print magazine. It makes my heart feel good.
And I know that Game Informer is a team that I can rely on to say something substantial about games and the people who make them, because GI has a stellar crew of editors. These are people I love to have on the couch at Giant Bomb at night over at Summer Game Fest. It's people I can always rely to have something interesting to say. That's why I know when they have those excellent cover stories, just like they always did and always will continue to do so, it's going to be some of the best coverage in video games.
And another fun bonus, Game Informer donates 5% of every subscription purchase directly to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
You know, earlier this year, the future seemed very uncertain for both Game Informer and Giant Bomb. That's putting it mildly. And as someone whose life and gaming hobby has been greatly impacted by both of those outlets, I am thrilled that we are both back and doing our thing online, in your podcast apps, and in print in your hand. That is right. Gaming news, reviews, everything in between sent straight to your mailbox every month. To subscribe, go to GameInformer.com/subscribe now.
Magazines.
You guys ever notice that ever since Kermit the Frog sang "Why There's So Many Songs About Rainbows," haven't really been that many rainbow songs since then.
Were there back then?
I think all the big heavy hitters, like "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" was before that.
She's a Rainbow.
Right. Cartman talk about rainbows biting his butt. Was that the first episode of South Park?
That might have been the very
biting
first one,
his
the anal
butt?
probe one.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, I hate rainbows. They climb up your leg and bite your butthole. Like that was,
Man,
I think
I thought
that's the first.
That wasn't Underpants Gnomes? What was
Underpants was later-ish, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
lots of
little
thing
before
biting
my time.
buttholes on the South Park program.
Stop talking about your butthole for a moment and give me the video game news. Jeez.
Why can't the music didn't play? Oh shit!
See? God, do your job. Butts.
All right, Mike. Just because you've been so nice to me, I'm going to talk about the Splat Pack.
Oh my God, I don't know if he's talking about the Splat Pack. Maybe that's
In front of everybody. Nickelodeon.
Splatpack.com. Can that
No.
redirect to Giant Bomb?
I think it already does. Nickelodeon Splat Pack has been announced. Limited Run Games is releasing Nickelodeon Splat Pack, a collection of classic Nickelodeon games on Nintendo Switch as well as other platforms. I got this from a Nintendo website. The collection includes Real Monsters for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, Guts for the Super Nintendo, and Rocco's Modern Life, Spunky's Dangerous Day for the Super Nintendo. Nickelodeon Guts is based on a TV show, blah, blah, blah. This is going to tell you all this stuff that you probably should know, and if you don't care. Pre-orders open on September 19th, 2025. Says here on the website, it will begin shipping sometime in July 24th, 2026. That's how Limited Run Games works. It's in pre-production according to the website. This comes in various like variations. You You can get the one with the collector's edition that has a bunch of stuff in it, I guess, for $130.
Does that do you get a piece of the crag, the Astro Crag? If you get
No, I searched several times here on eBay. I don't think they're out there. Also, Nikki Grayson says splatpack.com is $995. But wait, there is a crag. There's an Aggro Crag light up desk ornament, which I'll take it, but I want the real deal.
You also get so here's everything that's in the collector's edition. The Splat Pack game, VHS slipcover, and VHS tape box. So I guess you could put the game inside of...
and it's orange, just like all the Nickelodeon VHS tapes used to be. Yeah.
You get a double-sided poster, Rocco shirt lanyard. So I guess it's a lanyard that's modeled after his shirt. Yeah, there it is. Aggro Crag light-up desk ornament. Retro Nickelodeon PVC keychain, a Crumb plush with magnetic eyes, the monster that holds up his own eyes from All Real Monsters. Cute. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Enamel pin set, 6 crazy caps, sticker sheet. There was a Nickelodeon Splat Pack video game, like way back.
I was gonna say, I tried searching for it and I found the old Splat Pack. So interesting name, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, that was a THQ joint, of course, and that had Employee of the Month. I don't know what that is. Nicktoons Basketball, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game for PC, Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron, and Shadow Showdown. So they're going back. This is fun. I understand what limited run games is going for a lot of times, and most of the time I think they hit the mark. So this is pretty interesting.
I played many of these games back in the day. I don't remember them being good. That Rocco's Modern Life game was like an annoying sort of Lemmings-like, where we're just getting his dog to like one place to the other, and like the dog's always moving, so you have to like set up the traps, make sure he doesn't get hurt. Spunky, that's it. Yeah, that kind of thing. I remember the All Real Monsters game on Genesis was a game that I begged for my birthday, and then got it, and I was so excited, and then I think I played it like once or twice, and I was like, it's not very good, actually.
It wasn't great. Yeah,
also,
but I mean... Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I'm surprised. Who owns the rights to Ren and Stimpy? Because when I think of like that era of Nickelodeon, I think of the Nicktoons. You know, it was Rugrats, it was Ren and Stimpy, and like there were games for all those.
They made so many Ren and Stimpy games that could almost be its own collection. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I owned them. As a huge Ren and Stimpy fan, I wanted them to be good, but they were not great.
This feels like that era right after Ren and Stimpy, right? Rocco's Modern Life and
All
Real Monsters was a little bit later.
Rocco was the very first new Nicktoon, so it's pretty close. With it,
right? But Ren and Stimpy was.
Ren and Stimpy was the first three. It was Doug, then Rugrats, then Ren and Stimpy. So that was the first three, and then you started getting Rocco, Real Monsters, and then later on it was like Recess and stuff like that. But yeah, Ren and Stimpy wasn't that first wave of Nicktoons.
The last thing that I see on the Wikipedia page mentioned is like Comedy Central doing something with Ren and Stimpy. So I would assume Viacom, MTV, that whole thing.
MTV, or I think it was Spike TV at the time, ran a like new Ren and Stimpy. The way you're seeing like Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill now, but it was like, it's for adults. It's like they fuck now and they say shit. It's like
that was a Spike thing.
That's not what you need.
It was weird. It was that in Stripperella, I remember, as part of the new adult cartoon block.
Right.
Getting advertised a lot during Raw on Spike TV. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
But yeah, these games might be bad, but that's sort of beside the point, and people can get excited about bad things, as you might have noticed from our next story here. Virtual Boy is back. Virtual Boy is $100. He's got his Virtual Boy mug right there. It's going to be $100 for the plastic version that has the lenses in it, where you slide a Switch in, and then you start up Nintendo Switch Classics Virtual Boy, and you can play Virtual Boy games. If you don't get that, well, you can get the $25 Labo cardboard version that also has the lenses in there. You slide your Switch into that, play the Nintendo Switch Classics Virtual Boy games. If you don't have one of those two things, apparently this is not going to work.
How are you going to fucking play the games then?
You're right. I mean, I'm speaking asshole.
It's ridiculous. The technology is not there if you don't have the cardboard or the plastic.
Here's why I'm upset about it. I don't think we'll be able to stream anything if we have to keep the Switch inside.
I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way.
Wait. Hang on. Are there actually... I can't imagine there are any actual connections with these things. I'm sure you just slide the thing in there. It's not like it goes into a plug or USB-C or something.
Yes, no.
So like you would be able... It would probably just look all fucked up, right?
If it looked up, you need a very long cord, I suppose.
No, because if the Switch detects that's docked, it could lock you out of using the app.
Oh my God, I could see them doing that.
Yeah, but it's like it's not really. I mean, I guess I'm trying to
think
like
handheld.
And well, yeah. Because
I mean, handheld it would be fine because that's the way that this thing works.
Yeah.
I know me and Grub are more of the Android guys here. Do you guys remember Google Cardboard from back in the day? Dan and
Oh
Mike?
yeah,
hearing
yeah.
about it.
They were pushing that for a while there.
That's what this is. Your phone just has the content on there, you know, 2 different screens. So that way when the lenses come together, your eyes make it stereoscopic 3D. That's what they're doing here.
You know what? Fuck them. We have our own ways of streaming Virtual Boy if we need
sure
to.
do.
We could just do
No,
that.
but couldn't, assuming it is just like two of the same image, basically, couldn't you just crop it in OBS and just stream it that way?
Right, but Sean's right. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, if we try to dock it, it's not going to let you launch the app.
That's
'cause
amazing.
It won't
I
want you
love
to
it.
see it on the TV.
Presumably, yes.
Beautiful.
I'm guessing you're right. People need to people are like, why are they excited? The Virtual Boy was bad. We know.
No, it is just like
We
I was
know.
thinking about that this morning as I was drinking from my Virtual Boy mug. I was thinking, is this ironic technically? Because I was showing Bonk the
not
clip of us
ironically
react-
excited. I'm
That's the thing.
legitimately excited.
That's how I feel. Like I don't think it's ironic because ironic excitement would be like this thing sucks and we're gonna act like I genuinely love that this exists. I think this is just hilarious. You know?
When the Phantom Menace goes back into theaters, I'm legitimately excited. I think Phantom Menace is a bad movie, but I was legitimately. It's the same thing where it's like, yeah, Virtual Boy, objectively, lots of things wrong with it. I don't care. There's no difference between good and bad things. Just what gets me, what makes me feel happy and what doesn't. This makes me feel happy.
Also, there's just genuinely good games on Virtual Boy. Not a ton of them, mind you, but Wario Land is legitimately a very good game. There's a couple solid ones too, like the Galactic Pinball or whatever. It's like that's a solid game.
And now it feels like retro futurism, where like this is like an alternative timeline technology could have started going down. And of course it didn't, and it wouldn't have. But I don't know. There's something fun about it now.
There's something about Nintendo is always that company that could do anything. Sometimes it's bad things that they do, for sure. And we'll criticize some other things here. But there are some things like, well, they won't do this. Well, here they are just releasing the Virtual Boy again. So it just kind of reinforces the they could do anything mentality with Nintendo. So
yeah. And if this is too much for you, also, undoubtedly people will put out, the $10 on Amazon version of the cardboard and everything.
Oh,
so,
sure,
yeah.
And I'm looking at this. It looks like it does not come with any kind of the controller was attached to the stand and stuff. It's not going to be.
Koizumi was using Joy-Cons with the grip in the presentation and everything.
That's too bad. I need the 2 D-pads. I guess you kind of can replicate that with Joy-Cons.
What games used? I guess was that just for
Teleboxer.
left-handed people?
No, I think Teleboxer was a 2
Teleboxer
D-pad
stuff.
game. Yeah.
Mike, did you have a Virtual Boy?
I had a Virtual Boy.
Wow, that's the first person I've ever met that owned a Virtual Boy.
I don't think I'm proud of that.
Had one.
Yeah. Wow. It was. I mean, at the time, I didn't think it was bad or anything. I thought it was really neat. I thought it was fun. I liked Mario Clash. Wario Land was great. We didn't have many games for it. I think it was Tennis, which came with it. I think
that sounds
we got
right.
Mario Clash. And
that was the first.
That Wario Land.
That was the first Mario Tennis, right?
That was the first Mario Tennis game.
Wow.
NES, whatever. But yeah, okay. All right. Well, the Virtual Boy is back, and that happened in a Nintendo Direct. We'll hit some of the big things here. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is coming December 4th. Now that is an official release date. It's out this year. It's cutting it kind of close, but it is coming out this year. They showed off quite a bit more, including a motorcycle segment.
Yes.
You know what? There was a lot of talk about how people are feeling about Metroid Prime. I think a lot of it's going to turn out to be puddle news, where people are they really want this game to be good. So anything that gives them a little bit of pause is going to be the end of the world. I thought the motorcycle looked pretty sick, personally. I'm reserving judgment on how does it feel when I play it until I play it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I just thought it looked really neat. I don't know if it is something you access at all times. If it's about these kind of larger open areas and just traversing between them. It could be almost the equivalent of the Great Sea and Wind Waker, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of traversal in these large areas. And some people don't like the Great Sea. I love the Great Sea. I love that kind of longer form traversal. And I bet they'll do stuff here to make it fun. But yeah, we don't really know what it is, so I'm just going to wait and see.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be like most Zelda games where you have a method to get from one place to the other. So it makes a little more sense that you have completely different areas, dungeons, biomes all across the planet, whatever the case may be. This is, I think, a more logical way for Samus to get from, say a volcano to an icy area to a beach or a desert than just, they're on different floors. Like
this is the new elevator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
sure,
like the elevator, right? It's just, I assume it's going to be a fairly linear thing if you
That's
want
the
to be,
sense I
and
get
then
too.
maybe there's a couple places you can stop along the way, almost like a Halo or something. Like when there are vehicles, you kind of just have stops along the way.
How open was that Gear? I didn't play that most recent Gears of War game. What was it called?
Gears 5 had the
it was just
Act-
Gears 5. Jesus.
It was Gears
was,
5, and then like Act 2 and Act 3 were like open. Like the one was like this red desert, and the other was this icy tundra. Like
you had like a wind.
it was like a
thing.
sled. It was like a sled thing that had like a parachute thing. That like I just played through it a year or two ago with Kayla, and it's like it's fun. I like that. I want more.
I
of
think
that
that's a
stuff.
good call, Grub. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like that.
Something like that. Not extremely open, but just a little something to do between the normal Gears of War gameplay. So
right, and if you want to, you can like mainline it.
I'm also every time I feel like I see a Metroid Prime 4 trailer, I'm just like, that looks awesome. I can't wait. And then like I see it in chat here and other places. Everyone else seems to have anxiety about it. I'm always a little thrown off. Like you don't think that looked cool? You think that might be bad?
I think a big part of it is not a lot of people have actually played Metroid Prime video games. And so so people look at these trailers are like trying to find out, why does Jeff Grubb bring this up on every single podcast he's on? And it's like, well, I really like Metroid Prime because of these reasons that aren't going to be super obvious in a trailer. And so people look at it and are like, this doesn't look like the next great first person shooter. And so, it's not trying to be that.
Like shit and britches here. I just kind of wanted to say that name because it's funny.
Sure.
It's like Sonic Frontiers looking ass world. Like a lot of people seem concerned.
With the motorcycle,
because you're in a desert. Yeah, the desert is a desert for a moment.
Desert has sand. Shocker.
You see the rest of the game? Well,
It's I think the other half, because like what Jeff's saying is totally valid. I think actually the bigger thing is people have open world fatigue. And something like a Sonic Frontiers or whatever. Just trying too hard to be an open world. I do get that. I absolutely get that, because not everything needs to be an open world. And which I think when Nintendo has done open world, like Bowser's Fury and the Zelda games recently, and kind of Donkey Kong, I think they just do it really well. And so, I just don't really have any worries about this. If nothing else, because it seemed pretty obvious to me that you just get from one point to the other and you're fine. Then you're at the second point and we can move on.
That's my guess as well. Just looking at it, we didn't see a ton, but I think that's how it's going to end up.
I'm sure you're just going to like unlock a elevator or fast travel point anyway that you can use. And
you'll probably just be able to select from a map. Maybe I'll be wrong about that, but that's kind of, it makes sense to me.
A couple other big things we should talk about. Fire Emblem's Fortune's Weave is out in 2026. Whole new Fire Emblem game. This is like their one more thing. It was a big surprise. I thought it looked fantastic. I think it looks really good. I like some Fire Emblem games a lot. Some of them are some of my favorite games. Like one of my favorite 3DS games is Awakening. If this can match that, then that would be great. I don't know if I was necessarily craving a Fire Emblem, but seeing this, it's like, no, you know what? That looks awesome. I'll play this.
That's a good way of putting it. Where as much as I have loved some Fire Emblem games in the past, like Awakening and like Three Houses, if you had asked me like, what are some like games you can't wait to see finally show up on Switch 2, Fire Emblem would not have been high on the list.
I mean, even from Intelligent Systems, which they might be partnering with an outside studio on this, whatever. But like, if this is Intelligent Systems, which I don't think we know yet, like, there's some other stuff from them I would want to see first. Yeah.
Right. But seeing this, I'm like, okay, this looks good. I kind of like the direction here. It doesn't seem like it's going too far in certain directions, like Engage it. Maybe that's just part of it, is that I fell off Engage, and Engage wasn't what I was liking, and I was a little bit worried about the direction of the series. They're being very clear in tying this more into Three Houses than with Engage.
Right.
Now, what did because they started kind of losing me with like the Three Houses stuff. Like, did Engage just go further into that? Like, hey, you're just fucking around talking to people at a church or something.
The way that you describe Three Houses is how everyone felt about Engage.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't want any of that between the battles, and
it's
worse.
Okay. The problem is, and this is one of those times where I give Mike all the credit in the world. He was right to be a fuddy-duddy about Engage. That game was aggressively anime in the worst ways possible. Like, just there is apparently such a thing as too much color, and is Fire Emblem Engage.
Right. It's like I think someone told Nintendo anime was working in Fire Emblem, and they like didn't know. It's like, but there's a certain kind of anime that people really respond to, and not just like the colorful stuff that you grew up on. Whoever's running Nintendo, I don't know.
Yeah, they just steered too hard, and I like seeing that this is a bit of a correction, a righting of the ship, because this does feel like an extension of Awakening, Fates, and even Three Houses, where it is, there's flourishes of the anime BS that a lot of us know and love. They're not going too far into it is almost more reserved on a level of Persona versus Metaphor, where Persona is like bright colors and everything, and then Metaphor is like, no, this one is the one that's a little more grounded looking. It's a little more traditional fantasy, and I appreciate that.
I know what you're meaning. I didn't mind the Three Houses level of kind of being at your base, talking to people. Then when Engage did that again and in a worse way, I wouldn't mind if they kind of rethought what the in between the battle stuff looked like here. It seems like we almost kind of got stuck in that because that was the big thing with Awakening, was they did such a good job with that sort of thing. So
because it was like you go to a map screen, you go to a tavern, you buy some stuff, you upgrade, you do a little bit of like, oh, these characters are ready to talk, and move
because
their
you had them fight next
whatever.
to each other for the whole last battle, right? It was all
it
tied
was
together.
awesome.
And,
But it also I felt like it was way more of a chore with Three Houses, where it's like I would do this fun battle and stuff, and I'd go back and it's like, all right, I got to fill like, what was it, like a certain amount of points of like social stuff or whatever. I got to go have tea with Sally, and then I got to go fucking talk to the Emperor or whatever and rub a face and jack off or whatever, and then I can go fight again, I'm sorry, what? What did you say, Mike?
No, that one wasn't me.
I'm between you guys when it comes to Three Houses, where it's like I can feel both ways. I want them to like do something new here, though, where it's not just about going back to your base and have these big long conversations. Find some new way to express the idea or focus it more on like what's happening inside the battle. If the characters are standing next to each other, do something cool there or new there instead.
Right, and like give me more interesting characters than this. This is the person who likes tea a lot, and everything they say is about tea.
Sentence.
Give me more than one character trait for each of these people.
Yes.
All right, so let's hit some of these other ones that are like just doing one tier down. Donkey Kong Bonanza, DK Island, and Emerald Rush DLC is out now. It launched the day of the Direct. It was $20, so that means for everything in that game, it is now $90. I bought this and have not touched it.
I downloaded it, have not touched it. So
yeah, I did download you guys talked about it.
What's that?
What's that?
No, you guys talked about it. I was just a little surprised. It seemed like something that you guys would dove into right away.
I mean, yes.
I bought it right away.
I have a short list on my phone of things to get to right now, and that is on there. But like Silksong has taken over. So
that's exactly what happened.
Hades will probably do that. Yeah.
I also really like, so for people that don't know, this is a roguelike kind of mode. So you go on these timed challenge runs and you upgrade stuff and you get like weird upgrades, or maybe not weird, but you can get a bunch of more powerful upgrades than maybe you could in the base game, and have a new build of DK and try to get as far as you can. I've not played it though, so I'm not really sure how that loop's going to work.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, just the core mechanics of that game are so fun that and it's like, it's a new area, right? Is it that DK Island?
You go to DK Island,
yeah.
I've heard it's not very substantial, or at least
it's
not like a new level.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting a read on this because I see some people talk about how much fun it is, and I see a lot of people just aghast that it costs $20, and maybe it's not worth that.
I think there's a lot of people who are just
fair.
like, anything roguelike they have no interest whatsoever, and they're like, that's not even a real video game, so get it out of my face.
I wouldn't go that far, but that's why I'm looking at like, I usually don't like roguelikes, so $20 to play more DK Bonanza, which I love, but play a mode that I don't like, I'm probably gonna pass.
Right, and how much of an excuse do you really need not to get DLC? For me, it's like one little thing, and I'm like, I don't need that DLC, I'm good.
Right. I mean, even Breath of the Wild, which, I love that game. I didn't get its DLC.
Not either.
Whatever. I'm
did.
good.
The motorcycle's really cool to ride around on, but outside of that DLC was not worth it.
Yeah, I was going to do that because, I've been playing through, before all these games came out, I got through 3 of the 4 Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild, and I was like, oh, this would be great. I've got the DLC. This would be a great excuse to finally get that motorcycle and play through this whole run with that. And it's like, no, you have to do all 4 Divine Beasts before you get that, I hear. It's like, well, shit, the game's pretty much like, okay, I guess I can go find some more shrines with it or whatever.
It was post-game DLC, so I guess that makes sense.
Sure.
All right, Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 bundle, $70 for both games, $40 if you want to buy them individually. There's some upgrades here, though. It's going to be on both Switch 1 and Switch 2, but the Switch 2 version will run in 4K, and they are like full screen, like they're doing a 16:9 format. They are improving the resolution and the textures. It looks like a more significant upgrade than the Super Mario 3D All Stars version of Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh wait, did
So,
Galaxy get the Galaxy was 16:9, right, on 3D All Stars?
Yeah, I think it was, but it like
Yeah, 'cause
there
that was
obviously not
are
4K.
obvious image quality differences just side by side that you can
Okay.
very easily see. So there
Oh,
are
yeah.
Just
improvements
watched
here.
that trailer last night. I didn't think it was that much of a jump.
You can notice it. But it's not $40. I think that's the thing we're getting at here. Is
Yeah.
now, Mike, I'm with you. I'm gonna buy this thing
Yeah,
right away.
there's a lot of the price
Suckers.
stuff, like the pricing stuff is coming to a lot, and I get it, especially like the amiibos, some of the DLC. Like, I'm sorry, this is the one. Like, I'm easily gonna pay $70 for both of these, or even $40 for just Galaxy 2. I know, but
I'll play
I
through
wouldn't
both,
even
100% of
double
both again.
think it. Yeah, I think there's even gonna be mouse mode. I thought I saw too, which I don't know. Maybe that
Yes,
will
there
work
is.
well with these. So.
Oh.
I'll be interested how that works. Yeah.
Flip Flam says, more like giant suckers got us. I like that.
Jeez.
There was a bunch of Mario stuff because it's Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary, so they used that as an opportunity to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which they confirmed is Galaxy themed, coming April 3rd, 2026. We knew that. They also confirmed a lot of the cast is returning, and they showed like a teaser, a very very teasery teaser of like the Super Mario Kingdom landscape, and then panning up into outer space, and that's the Galaxy stuff. But then Gusty Garden's Galaxy music started playing, and I felt emotions, and that was good.
Yeah,
So.
it's great. And I can't wait to hear that movie. I know it played in the credits for a moment at the end of the last movie, which maybe was a teaser that we were going in this direction. But yeah, like we will hear that song, but we are also going to hear so many like classic rock or whatever songs that happen to be about space too.
Which one was the Gusty Gardens thing? How did that go?
That's the guys. Dun, 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 dun.
That's a
It's
good one.
the
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy song.
That is a good one. Is that the menu music, or is that just in that one area?
It's in that one area. It's the one everyone remembers. The menu music is bum 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 bum. That's what they played in the
God,
trailer.
Man, look at this guy remembering music.
Yeah, I like
Do you guys-
video game music.
Oh, Mike, in particular, do you ever get that mixed up with Sky Sanctuary? Because I always like confuse those two in my
Well,
head.
because Sky Sanctuary, which is the first level in Galaxy 2, it's
Nope.
weird because
From
what? No.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Oh,
Sanctuary
my
Zone?
bad. What was that called? Oh, Sky Sanctuary. Da 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 da
Yeah.
da da
I always confuse those.
ba da da da.
Oh, thank you.
Ba-da-da. That's a good song. That might be my favorite Sonic song, even though I just forgot it.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is coming November 6th.
Thank you, Jeff.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Kirby Air Riders, that's the $50 fucking amiibo. Kirby and his Warp
See,
Star.
that's insane. That is absolutely wild. A $50 amiibo. That's crazy. You're telling me to pay $40 for one of the greatest video games of all time with some improvements. Look, I could do it. $50 for an amiibo is bananas. Just because you can
Okay.
remove the part out and replace it.
Well, where's the line? Because they also announced $40 amiibos as well. Are you buying either the Mario Galaxy ones for $40?
Probably not. The only amiibo that I saw that I really, really want to have is the Samus on a motorcycle one.
I'm doing all those
I
Metroid
don't know
ones.
how
We'll
much
get to
that
those.
costs. It better
That
not
one's
cost $40.
I think it's like $30.
It was 30, I think, for the smaller
Right.
ones and 40 for the big one. I'm like, this is too damn much for a tiny piece
I'll
of
tell you-
plastic with NFC chips.
Metroid Prime Remastered costs $40. I'm not going to
Yeah,
spend the same amount for an amiibo of
No, I know. Seeing
Samus.
Kirby, it was like, Sean, video games used to cost $50. Did you know that? Did you know that when we were kids, $50 for a video game, and now that's a Kirby amiibo?
Whoa. Video games also used to cost $90 when you were a kid.
Yeah,
Turns
but
out
I didn't
before
pay for those.
MSRPs,
I
it was
would
wild.
never. Yeah, I never once. I think as a kid got a video game that was more than $50.
Oh my god, the
like
Samus and
video
Bike
game
amiibo
cost.
is $40. It's the same price as Metroid Prime
I
Remastered.
thought I said, yeah, the small ones are
Crazy.
30, and then Samus on Bike is 40. Yeah.
Grub, did you do the
40?
thing where you always wait for them to go used? I always bought used back
Oh
then.
yeah, yeah, as much
Yeah,
as I could. Yes,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Santa Claus is going to be getting me
Funko
that.
yeah. All right, let's see here. I talked about Hyrule Wars, Kirby. Hades 2 showed up September
Yeah.
20th. Oh, I forgot. It's out September 25th.
That's right,
That's
everybody.
9 days.
9 days.
Got 9 days to beat Silksong.
I can do that. I can do that with the pace I'm on. I'll beat it.
Yeah, well, I'll be
Oh,
good,
yeah.
but like
I'll
still.
be good.
That's the digital version. They also said a physical version will be out on November 12th. And it is like on console, at least for now, exclusive on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Hyrule Warriors, I already said that one. Resident Evil Requiem, that's confirmed for Switch 2. Day and date with the other versions, February 27th. It looked pretty good. They also announced that 7 and Village will get ports on the same day, Gold Edition ports. I kind of wish they would space those out.
Yeah, I wish it would have been
not.
nice to get like 7 ready for Halloween so I could play it on Switch too. It's a little weird there. Nothing about the 2, 3, and 4 remakes, which honestly I might like even more than the newer games. So
Definitely.
it's good to see this, but yeah, and it was weird with Requiem because when they first showed it, it was just like a picture. I'm like, oh, that does look much worse. Then it was in motion. I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good, really, for what you could reasonably expect for a Switch 2 game.
Yeah, right. Honestly, that is where like DLSS kind of shines, is making those games look right in motion. All right, Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions DLC already announced. This I could not parse this in the moment, but Sean, like this is just the expected DLC that always happens with Pokemon games, right?
Yeah, this is them sort of getting ahead of it, where they do DLC expansions for all the mainline games nowadays instead of the third version. And this is them saying, hey, ZA, we're treating this like a mainline game. It's also getting that, that post-release expansion for $30 or whatever. You'll be able to get a bunch of items, legendary Pokemon, whatever the case may be. Probably gonna be overpriced for what you get, but that is what it is at this point. The only like weird thing is that they are announcing it before the game's even out. I did think about it a little bit, and I think it's just because that DLC could be out before the next Pokemon presents, and they only announce stuff like this in the major presentations. So yeah, I'm not surprised if it's just going to be like a January thing or something, and they're announcing it now because they don't know when the next Nintendo Direct's going to be, so they're putting it here. But yeah, they're also just using it as a marketing beat because hey, older people, Mega Raichu is here. Don't you want to spend an additional $30 on this game? And they'll absolutely get some people with that.
Sure.
Mario Tennis Fever coming out February 12th, featuring 38 characters. This is the one that had Baby Waluigi and Baby Wario in it.
Yeah, it's appropriate because Waluigi made his debut in Mario Tennis 64.
True,
right?
That's true.
Yes.
This looks really good. I mean,
yeah,
certainly as good as I thought any of these looked. Since I accepted we're never going to get like the Mario Tennis Advance single player RPG stuff. This looks like it has an actual adventure mode of some kind. I'm just really in the mood for some kind of tennis game, especially after playing Virtua Tennis for that Dreamcast stream and having so much fun with that.
I agree that it looked good, but I am gonna to tell myself I'm no longer gonna let myself get excited for the adventure modes in the sports games.
Yes, I think the Nintendo sports games occupy the same space in my head as Star Fox now. Where it's like there's that thing where they announce one and it's like I know it's been a while since the Star Fox, but every one since 64 I've been excited about, and every fucking time it's like, fool me 6 times, shame on me, but I'm not gonna be fooled again with Star Fox or the latest Nintendo sports games because they've been pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this Sean face? What's going on here?
I mean, none of them are as good as Star Fox 64, but they're all good games.
Star Fox is a GameCube Star Fox Offender, and I admire that about him.
I tried going into
that was
adventure.
a mistake. Like, the Command was a bad game, but I will defend Assault and Zero.
I do kind of like Zero.
Zero's just a really good game.
They're not train wrecks, but I just think compared to SNES and 64, I think
none of them were ever the Star Fox 64 2 that people wanted for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
If Mario Tennis Fever delivers fun multiplayer and online, I'll be happy. But even the recent Mario sports games have messed that up sometimes, so we'll see. Or not the head-to-head multiplayer stuff, but like the online stuff, like the golf game didn't have online tournaments.
It did the same stuff that like the later Soul Caliburs did, where it's like we don't need this unskippable animation every time like an ultra tennis hit or whatever happens. Like, it's fun the first time seeing Waluigi do a little dance and throw a rose up in the air or whatever, but like it happens a lot.
Forming an L.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So. Rob, I do have a small bit of hope for the adventure mode because I did see it's very brief in the trailer, but they are running around like the clubhouse from the Game Boy Color and Advance games. I'm like,
Really?
okay, maybe
did
this
look
is
like
gonna
that.
be a little more in depth than we think, but also, yeah, I'm with
saw
you.
that. And
Let's
that's
not get our hopes
That's
up.
what like triggered like they're trying to get me again. It's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna hold off. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the rest of these. Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition plus Bella Bell Park Meetup. That is going to be some multiplayer challenges. They also had a talking flower toy, the flower from that game. They're selling a toy of that. Apparently, Bella Bell Park, the DLC will also have new single player levels, but they
Okay.
focused on the multiplayer stuff in the trailer.
Yeah. It's just because like the vibe that I was getting from that, it's like this is kind of more multiplayer hang up stuff. I mean, even the title here, right, of
Yeah,
Bella Bell Park Meetup, that doesn't scream extra challenge levels, which is kind of what I would want from DLC.
Well,
for this game.
I'm not expecting them to be the challenge levels, the very high difficulty levels that we were hoping for, but I'll take more levels. And I really like the multiplayer stuff in Wonder. So
Yeah, I bet it'll be fun.
I bet it'll be fun.
I'm going to
yeah,
get
go
that flower thing and figure out how to make it work with like a chat GPT. And then I'm
was
going to
gonna say
go
we should hack
into
it.
like the weirdest like AI psychosis story there is. And like I
Yep.
just talk to the flower until I lose my
Now-
mind. And yeah,
I think they said it's not interactable, so it probably doesn't have a microphone, but that doesn't, we can figure out something.
we can change this.
We
yeah.
can figure something
Yeah.
out.
We know people. Yeah.
All right, Pokemon Pokopia. Is that how I'm going to say that? That's out in 2026.
Pokemon Pal World, yeah.
Yeah, it's Pal World. It's a cozy life sim where a Ditto takes over a human body and then can farm stuff
Now
and
wait a
raise other
second, this is
Pokemon.
slander. Ditto does not
Okay.
take over a human body.
well-
Ditto becomes the form of a human.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Is
guess.
Ditto a T1000 situation?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
does it have to touch something and then it can resemble it?
No, I think it has to see it. I think it just has to
Technic-
know. It just has to know.
It just needs to look at it, yeah.
Okay, T1000 had to like rub up against you in a bar or something.
T1000
Right.
can suck dittos, yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is a new Yoshi story sequel. I'm going to say story because that's what it looked most like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's spring 2026. It looks gorgeous, and it looks like the most lackadaisical game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything that made me not like the original Yoshi story, I think is going to be tripled down on
Yeah.
here.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Which I'm sure it'll be really cute.
yeah, and I think my kids will probably like this one, although I tried to get them to play some of the more recent ones.
good.
They didn't love those either.
Oh, good. Another
so.
game for kids. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I sense a problem happening here.
And we should
Uh-huh.
probably get the
It's an
government
epidemic.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. What's with all these Nintendo games for children?
Final,
They've
Fantasy
lost their way.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is out January 26th, or 22nd, I should say.
That looks
that's for-
good.
yeah, it looked awesome. It's Switch 2, and obviously it's coming to Xbox as well that same day. They also confirmed later that all of the Final Fantasy VII trilogy will be on Switch and Xbox in the future, making it sound very much like that third version will launch everywhere, which I think we're expecting at this point.
I did
Yeah.
not get that from the announcement because they did just say they will be on those platforms.
I'm combining that with what the executives have said at previous investor calls over the last like 2 or 3 meetings, where when this stuff comes up, they're like, "Look, the goal now is get these games everywhere right away." But you're right, there could still be some reason why that doesn't happen.
It will be it because Remake looks very good on Switch 2. I do wonder what Rebirth will look like because that's a bigger game. It's open world. I mean, that was a
recent
game
game.
that people
Yeah.
complained how it looked on a PlayStation 5. So
Mhm.
that'll be
Yeah.
curious.
All right, let's see here. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. This is real, another 7 game. It has an incredible look to it. It looks really nice. It is that Toriyama art in 3D. That's out February 5th. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. You know what, real quick on Dragon Quest VII, they said that they were going to make it pacier. They're going to make it more fast-paced.
It's a game that needs to be pacier. I played the 3DS version, which was more pacier than the original PlayStation 1 version. Even then, I think that game is good. It is a slog, and that's somebody who is used to JRPG pacing. Dragon Quest VII is just it's built different, and it can probably use a little bit of more pacierness. That's also kind of part of like, is that kind of a part of the soup, Dragon Quest VII? Is that game? Do we lose something if we do too much there? Probably not, but I am curious to see exactly what they do with this remake.
I might try it out if they took some pointers from East 8 Lacrimosa of Dana.
Oh, I would love to see you play the PlayStation 1 version of Dragon Quest VII.
I
God,
might try this remake. Maybe I'll try it. That's a big thing,
remake.
right?
Yeah, but
Dragon
you should
Quest?
be more pure. You want to get the original intention of the developers.
No,
Dan
I'd
should
I'd play the remake if they make it better. Yeah.
Yeah,
He said
it's
it was
called
more
Dragon
like
Warrior.
Lacrimosa of.
If it was Dana.
Thank you. Oh,
Yes.
God, I had to talk to an expert real quick. Sorry, guys.
Thank you. Yes.
Stardew Valley Switch 2 edition, and then Overcooked 2 Switch 2 edition. Danganronpa, 2x2. It's a remake of 2, but it has a whole new storyline through it. So people are saying it's kind of like a whole new game in some ways. Suika Game Planet, which I'm saying is the Tetrasphere version of Suika Game. And there's a bunch more. EA Sports FC 26 looked all right. Persona 3 Reload.
Tomodachi Life even intrigued me. It looked so wacky.
The Tomodachi, thank you. Tomodachi Life, that looked really, really good. Very excited. Oh, and that's out early next year. So I think they said spring for that as well.
I want to, because they had ways you could QR code share, like even back then on the 3DS one, where it's like, here's a page of all these celebrities. You can just scan the 3DS QR
all the
code.
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I want to get every games media person, a bunch of video game characters, celebrities, and that's just the joy of that game. Is just like, oh, okay, this guy is the newscaster today, and here's Sean with the weather, and it's just gibberish nonsense. Like I want to check in on this game regularly on this website.
I think I had Reggie and Kevin Butler move in with each other on my 3DS game. So
but a lot of times you couldn't even you couldn't pick. It's just like, weird. Like Larry David and Reba McEntire are dating now. Like, okay,
yeah, right. That's what it was. Yeah. All right, that was the direct. It was massive. It was a lot. I liked it. It was definitely like, if people go back and heard what I said, what I was hoping for, it was exactly what I was hoping for. Metroid, some Mario stuff, and a 2026 game with Fire Emblem. So if they're doing exactly what I want, I kind of have to say, yeah, that's good enough for me. You got it, you aced that one. You guys were all feeling pretty good about the direct, though?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Didn't blow me away or anything, but, there's a lot of little stuff that I think added up to a pretty solid direct.
Yeah. And, all right. I'm super excited for Metroid Prime 4. I am very happy that I'm going to get Mario Galaxy 2 on my Switch 2. It's one of my favorite games. Yeah, Fire Emblem is the big thing for next year. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the rest of this news. Nintendo now has a U.S. patent on summoning characters and making them battle for you. Basically, they're patenting Pokemon, like summoning a Pokemon, and it's almost certainly this is a way for them to guard against stuff like Pal World in the future, or go after them more doggedly. People are mad about this, big mad about it, because people remember summoning things in video games for a very long time. Now, those patents are very specific. Also, it's very likely that this one is going to be proved to be invalid if they ever tried to enforce it, because the people will be able to show, here's something very similar in a game from 15 years before Nintendo tried to file this patent, or from the game that they're referencing,
or from Dragon Quest V, the game that inspired Pokemon.
Yeah,
right. Now,
is it meant to dissuade? Basically, is it the patent situation? Is it basically just to scare people into not doing that?
Yes, 100%. It is a tool that the lawyers can use to either go after people who do try to rub up against being more like Pokemon, like a Pal World situation, or it has a chilling effect where people are just going to be afraid to make this kind of game because they don't want to anger Nintendo, who loves to litigate. So yeah, it's. But people do kind of are like that. This is where a lot of the criticism's coming from. People are afraid of that happening, and Nintendo should not have the power to scare people off from making certain kinds of games. And they're right. This is not normal behavior for how this industry has operated for years and years. And it's like, Nintendo, you are on top of the world. Why do you also have to be a patent troll on top of that? It's a bad look for the company, for sure.
Yeah, this is
I don't think they care about that. I mean, you look at the way they've dealt with emulation and stuff like that, and I don't think they care about the optics of the legal stuff.
They do not.
No. Yeah. This is the wrong way to go about what they were doing too. Because Jeff, you and Mike talked about on Game Us Mornings, where clearly Pal World did some stuff that they should not have, and just copied some designs and stuff like that. But it was just a long train of Nintendo presumably thinking that wouldn't hold up in court or whatever. So they're doing everything in their power to bury them and everyone else making games similar to it along with them. That just sucks, man. Come on. Yep. If you're going to go after them for copyright infringement, do that. Don't make everyone else suffer. This sucks.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out, because I've seen this a bunch. It sounds like this patent would not be able to stop Final Fantasy from having summons and stuff like that. The wording of this patent very much applies to a Pokemon style summoning a character into the same 3D space that you're walking around in.
Yes, but that is how someone's working the remake trilogy now.
Yeah, and you're right to, but at the same time, it's like Nintendo's not going to go after their partners. This is going to be just for those little companies that come out of nowhere, which is kind of worse in a lot of ways. So,
very selective, yes.
Yep, Nintendo's probably going to have to answer to this one. I think someone will try to challenge this one and do something about it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Insomniac's Wolverine is reportedly coming next year, followed by a Venom spinoff. This is a rumor going around from MP First was the first place to report this. And they think it's going to be at that state of place that is likely going to happen at the end of this month or around the end of this month, which is what I've heard about as well. And I've been asked about Wolverine. It definitely sounds like it's a game they want to get out in 2026. Whether or not they're ready to show something is sort of unrelated to that timing, because it's like, do they have something ready to show? Sounds like they might. We're about due to hear more about Wolverine, right? What's next for Insomniac?
Yeah, it's been a good while since that first reveal of it, which we're in this weird period right now where for so long we did get games announced years and years before they come out, and it seems like we are finally starting to break away from that. So many people don't want to announce their games until it's, going to be a year out, maybe 2 years. Especially, I bet Microsoft's feeling that since they seem to be canceling most of the games that they announce these days. But should be time for Wolverine. Last time we heard about was because of that leak.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. In that leak is where we also got kind of a confirmation that at least at one point, Insomniac was working on a Venom game. Then it was like, oh yeah, well clearly they've had Venom in Spider-Man 2. They'll probably just do what they did with Miles Morales and get a follow-up out really fast based on what they tested out in that original game. And that did not manifest. We haven't heard anything about Venom. Now it sounds like, Venom is still happening. They just moved things around, and instead they're going to try to get Wolverine out first. And then Venom will come later. I think at least Wolverine late 2026 sounds about right to me, although who knows what people are going to do when they're still worried that GTA could slip into the holiday.
I mean, why wouldn't you make that Venom game? I mean, Miles Morales is a giant seller. I think Matt Piscatella did a list of best-selling PlayStation games ever. Yeah, like the Spider-Mans are on there, but so is Miles Morales. You did create this moveset for Venom that you can, use as a starting off point, a jumping point here. It's like a good way to do, because you can get away with things like using the map again and whatnot, because it's like, but now you're Venom. That's the big sales pitch here. Absolutely, that should happen.
Fortnite's getting K-pop Demon Hunter crossovers. Like apparently, at least this is a report. At least this is like the least surprising thing in the world. As soon as that popped off, it's like that'll be in Fortnite by the end of the year. Sounds like that'll be exactly what happens. I like K-pop Demon Hunter, so the kids will be excited about that. Although, do I want my kids to get into the Fortnite train? I don't know. I'm not sure.
It'll happen. I
know it'll happen, but
a lot of my nephews and nieces are already, they're big into it.
And then the headline here is, what is you doing, Randy? Randy Pitchford of Gearbox is addressing performance complaints about the PC versions of Borderlands 4, suggesting disgruntled players can get a Steam refund. He's just telling you, like, stop complaining to me and go get your money back. Since the game's launch, Pitchford has made confusing comments about the console FOV slider, dismissed server issues, and told players to code your own engine. He's also called
Which he does not do.
Yeah, right, exactly. He's also called Borderlands 4 a premium game made for premium gamers. Digital Foundry has noted significant stuttering, especially on badass settings, which is something they put into their video game. Pitchford continues to tweet, offering advice on optimizing the game and advocating for graphic text like DLSS, being like, "That's great, we built it for DLSS," which people do not like to hear. They want to be like, "Oh, we're relying on DL." Yeah, they should be mad about that.
You should build your games for platforms that actually exist, right? Your target platform should not be barely a thing, right? Like if your target platform is PlayStation 5 Pro or the single best graphics card ever, your target audience is like 1% or something insane like that. Yeah. What are people doing?
But then saying, premium game for premium gamers, like you have to be this like top of the line hardcore. It's like, no, Borderlands is extremely accessible, and a ton of people who don't play a ton of games really like Borderlands. Like, boy, he's one of those guys I'm just glad exists in this industry, not because it's like, I think he's doing great stuff, just that it's fucking funny. Just how every fucking time Battleborn or something comes out, or he just says some dumb shit, and it's just hilarious to watch it all play out. Yeah, it's a Randy game cycle.
It's really funny that we've gone from Borderlands 2 getting a mediocre Vita port to now it's like, oh, a 5090 will run this game at 70 FPS. That's not good, dude.
No, that's like, yeah, exactly. Like I have a 5080, and the fact that I can't just turn everything on max and have it like run really well, it's crazy. And not just because, it's not about my thing, but I'm at a very high end. If I can't do that, then what people expect? He's like, well, if you lower some settings, you'll get better performance. Yeah, no shit. People don't want to lower the settings just to be able to get a smooth, stable experience.
Yeah, and the bigger problem with that is that it's fine if a game does have settings that are hard to achieve now. Cyberpunk did that for all the issues that game had. It was also like future thinking of like, there are settings in here at the highest end that we don't recommend using right now. Avatar did the same thing, where the next wave of graphics cards will run this decently, and then the one after that will make it look really nice. But it's the fact that it kind of just looks like Borderlands and it's running this poorly is the big problem here.
That was not anyone's issue with Borderlands 3, and people had issues with it. It wasn't the way it looked, right? Like, how much more graphically advanced does Borderlands need to get? Why is Borderlands taxing GPUs? I know that they went a bit more open world with this one. Fantastic. But people need to be a little bit smarter with stuff. Unreal Engine 5 is maybe culpable to some degree here. Maybe it's a bit of a scapegoat. Also, I don't know. It's probably part of it. But something's got to happen. There's no reason for these games to be this heavy and also not look much better than games from 7 years ago. Like, what's going on here?
It's a mix of scoping things out. Tim Sweeney was a little douchey about it when he was talking about a couple of weeks back, but he did have a point of developers do need to like keep things in mind when they're building their game. Now, granted, Unreal Engine 5 should just be easier to build for. It should just do things better, not have stutter constantly on any platform all the time. But at the same time, it is on developers to make sure that they aren't overreaching like it seems like they did here with Borderlands 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you want some free advice, Randy, don't ever just tell PC gamers that the minimum spec thing was scoped for 30 frames per second. They hate that. They don't want to hear 30 frames
they
per
don't like
second.
that.
When has it ever looked good when a response to something, some criticism is like, well, maybe if I do 50 to 60 tweets about this, it'll be better.
If I just explain to them why they're wrong.
What if I showed you the angry emails I'm getting? That won't cause more people to send angry emails, I bet. We'll see. We'll see.
God.
Good thinking, Randy. Good
How do
luck
people
with
not
your
learn
future
these
endeavors.
things?
Randy is too busy learning the magics and the arcane arts to learn anything lessons about life.
This is the guy who tried, even before we knew it was going to be $80 and they backed off, he was trying to defend the possibility of it and was like surprised that upset people. So
yeah,
he is just on his own magic world.
Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection was also announced as part of the Direct, but not here, only in Japan. Sean is celebrating. I know Jan was celebrating this. It's coming in 2026. What are these?
Okay, Sean, I'm a big Mega Man guy. I'm not like a huge Battle Network person. I dabbled in it. Star Force, I was always like, what even is this? Is this a Battle Network? It never got good reviews. I never even really considered playing these games. What are they?
So Battle Network was a series that had an ending. For once, like, people can be happy, especially after Mega Man Legends left off on a cliffhanger. It was nice that Battle Network just finished. The final game was the final game. They even leaned into it in story ways. So how do you keep things going with a successful series that has an ending? You make a follow-up, and that's what Star Force was. And it's Battle Network, but they changed the perspective. It's weird because you know how the Battle Network games were on a grid and it's like an action RPG tactical thing? Star Force is behind the shoulder in 3D, but still on a grid and still having that gameplay because they were like, it's the DS, we can do 3D now. So these kind of just are more Battle Network games. They even play with like the overworld the same exact way and everything like that. You jack in, but because it's the future, now it's a wireless thing that you do over the internet. And yeah, it was just more Battle Network for the next generation of consoles, and not as good as. Very excited. Yeah, not as good as the Battle Network games. So yeah, people like me and Jan who did like those games. Cool that we have more of these to play.
My problem with Battle Network was the kind of amount of, again, Saturday morning cartoon story stuff. I assume that's still very much.
I
part
can't
of this.
believe they made that game for children. More
I know.
games need to be made for
complaining.
old middle-aged white men.
I'm not
There's
complaining. I'm
enough
just
out
saying,
there.
like, I'm just confirming that I probably won't really get into these.
Yeah, the same problem. Like the dialogue did get better in the games as they went on, but it's still going to be that style. So
Right.
you might not like it.
Jan's so excited that the game has tiles. I get it now. It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
A little weird that they couldn't find a moment to bring this up during the U.S. Although that trailer for the Japanese one is weird because it is essentially a bunch of like character art and logos flying at you. They don't want to show you the game at all for some reason during it.
They have done this before though. Like the Battle Network collection was announced in a direct, and just like it wasn't a montage. I think it got its own spot, but why not like put it in the montage or something?
And didn't it do very well?
Yeah,
I
Battle Network
remember
collection
selling
sold really well.
extremely well.
I'm sure they know that this won't sell as well as that, but may as well do it. Gosh,
it'll probably sell better than I expected before.
Once they do
Battle Network
this,
did
it
that.
really is just like, well, all right, if you're gonna do another Mega Man collection, all you have left is Legends, right? You got to do it at some point.
It's the one, please.
HD remake of Mega Man Soccer. That's what you're gonna get instead.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
I'll take it. Yeah. Listen, I want it.
In Battle and Chase, okay.
And then, as always, we save the biggest story of the week for last. Acclaim is back, and they had the Acclaim showcase. They're an indie publisher now. I don't want to like rag on them too much for just doing it, but they did buy the name Acclaim specifically to sucker a person like me into watching what they did with this show.
Yeah.
And
It feels kind of like it was THQ Nordic, like a step up, like level of that, where it's like, hey, we're just gonna get the name because people know the name, and obviously the tier is like not just indie; they do a little higher budget stuff, but like it's just the name, right?
Exactly. Yes, it's very similar. Yes, and that's happened a bunch. At this point, Atari really has been through a million different owners. It has nothing to do with what it originally was, and they're doing right by that. So it's possible to like figure this stuff out. I just don't. I'll have to play these games, and maybe some of these games will win me over. And at that point, I'll be like, I have different feelings about Acclaim that have nothing to do with the old Acclaim, but that's fine. All right,
these games looked like fine, by the
They
way.
look fine,
Like,
yeah.
But it's because
Yeah.
they kind of just bought publishing rights to existing indie games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was,
Boy,
maybe that's a move.
it's so hard to get attention for these things, even if you buy Acclaim, like Katanaut, right? Which is like one of the games Shadow dropped that day. It's a Metroidvania sort of
Katanaut.
roguelike thing. 86 reviews on Steam right now, right? So, gosh, it's difficult finding any space for yourself, especially at this weird moment where we are having Silksong and Hades 2 in the same month.
It's crazy. That does it for the news. I almost said Jan. Mike, I'm handing the show back over to you.
It's easy to mix them up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeff. We'll take one more break here, everybody. We'll come back. We got some emails. We got some super chats. Don't go anywhere. More Bombcast coming your way soon.
Coming to you live from Giant Bomb. It's the Character Issues Podcast.
The Character Issues Podcast is a podcast where we are making the definitive scientific list of the greatest video game characters of all time. Every episode, I am joined by hosts Leah Haydu.
It's me. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello.
And Rich Davison.
Hello from across the pond.
As we discuss, rank, and basically give you the definitive guide of who are the greatest video game characters of all time. We currently have over 70 episodes out, and I know what you're thinking. I don't want to go back and listen to all of those episodes, so here's a few facts to catch you up on any in-joke lore so you can jump in right now.
We have an unhealthy relationship with the character Voldo from Soul Calibur.
Rich really hates the Scandinavians.
The most important spot is the number 69 spot.
Every 23 episodes, we have a re-rank-a-palooza.
The second number one important spot is, again, not the top spot, it's the bottom spot, which is perennially going to be Chadley from Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth.
I'm so funny. Like, seriously, you guys, you don't even know.
So, if after hearing all of those wonderful facts about our podcast, you're still interested, you can go to any of your podcast services and search for the Character Issues Podcast, and it will be there. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at the Character Issues Podcast, or send us an email at characterissuespodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and thank you, Giant Bomb, for allowing us to advertise on your wonderful podcast about video games. We look forward to talking to all of you soon.
emails. Send your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. We will try our best to read them on the air. I've got a few here that we are going to read through right now. We got super chats to get to right after that. First off, from Chris in Chicago. Hi, I'm getting the sense that you guys are burning out a little on wrestling. Me too. Are there any other hobbies that you've had to take a break from in the past? Maybe something that you were doing out of habit rather than really wanting to do it. Thanks, Chris from Chicago. Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm taking a bit of a wrestling break right now. Like WWE is kind of just, it's almost like no interest at the moment. AEW is pretty good. It's just I have little time to watch weekly shows, so it's mostly I'll watch the pay-per-views if I'm able to.
I watch the pay-per-views, and then it's like if wrestling's on, I'll typically have it on in the background, but it's like almost never a appointment viewing thing anymore. Like
Sure.
I rarely look up from the Steam Deck, honestly, or more frequently I'll have it on like an iPad or something to have like my full focus in the TV game thing. But anyway, yeah, I've dropped off. Well, I guess wrestling in the past, I dropped off from about late 01 to maybe like 07 or 08. But I think that was just because I was afraid girls wouldn't like me if I was into wrestling. So
Right, that would be the problem.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've had too many things. More it's like natural things moving in and out of my orbit of like, oh, I watched this thing and it had this certain subject matter and I got very into that for a while, and then it's like, I learned what I could about that and moved on. That's happened a bunch, but that just feels more like natural taking interest in something instead of like making it a whole hobby and then losing that hobby. That's only happened a couple of times, and usually with something like wrestling.
I think for me, it's been within video games. It'll be with competitive games where a fighting game, a shooter or something like Overwatch was that for a while, where I get really into like the ranked mode. And then at a certain point, I notice them kind of just tilting every single night I play. I'm like, am I actually having fun here, or do I just like want the rank, or did I tell myself I'll get better? I'm not actually having fun anymore.
Yeah, there like are video games that are a hobby unto themselves. I've done a lot of MMOs and multiple times. Where it's like, all right, gotta take a break, especially if I'm doing raiding or something like that. Final Fantasy 14 recently was just a game I was playing every day for a very long time until basically halfway through that last expansion, where it was finally kind of a bit of burnout. Like, man, I've been watching these NPC characters talk back and forth with each other now for like 4 years. I think I need a big break from all of that, and I'm not sure if I'll get to any stuff like Hearthstone, even more recently Pokemon TCG Pocket. For a while, it's like, no, every day I'll at least open my packs, right? And then finally, it was this thing like at night. I was like, oh, I didn't open my packs yet. I guess I got to do it. I was like, well, wait a second. I don't want to do it, so why do it?
It's a chore.
Yeah. It is a thing though with something like that. Boy, once I stop. Even Hearthstone was like that, man. Like, I kept up with every expansion, and I never once felt like, well, I could just go back to that whenever. No, I can't.
It's like Chris Cooper in Adaptation. Nope, I'm done with fish. Fuck fish.
All right. A quick one from me. Sports is I did grow up watching the Chiefs and a decent amount of the Royals and stuff like that. And it's when I moved to Minnesota the first time, and it's like I used to watch every Chiefs game, and then it's like they're not. I think now there's probably ways to watch every game every season or whatever, regardless of where you are. But it's like I would have to like miss games and stuff like that, and so I just kind of fell off. And it's like I guess I'll start watching Vikings games, and it's like I did, and I like rooted for them, but it's like I just moved here, I'm not like Kansas City's my team, so I just kind of fell off and never really came back on it. But I still do have like there's so many people in our industry that are sports ball blah blah blah, and no, I understand what makes sports fun. I just haven't followed them for a long time,
Yep.
All right. Travis and Fargo sent a few here. We're just going to read one question right now. Hello, hotties. What's the worst final boss / level or area that was a terrible capstone, a crapstone, if you will, on an otherwise enjoyable video game? Boy, as amazing as Metal Gear Solid 5 is, it's really rough how it sets up this thing with, Boy Liquid Snake stealing that Metal Gear, whatnot.
Yeah.
And clearly that's supposed to be the end. And they just didn't do that. So instead, you just have to replay that intro sequence where you're in the hospital and can barely move.
God,
and it's
I
like
have to do that again.
It was kind of interesting that first time. The second time, just a slog. I don't even know. I guess it was like, oh, you have new context for this. Isn't it interesting? Mildly. Then, you listen to another audio tape, this time from Big Boss, because that's most of the story of that game is just listening to audio tapes. So, yeah, as amazing as that game is on a mechanical level, story-wise, it was a mess.
I would say Rage, the first one, because, not a lot of people loved it. I thought it was a fun, good-looking shooter back then. And then the last boss fight is just like, you just like get on an elevator. Like, that's it. Like, I thought I was like taking an elevator up to like a big boss fight or something. And it's just like, if I remember right, you just like pull a lever or something. And then it's like, credits. It's like, oh, shit. Okay, that sucks.
Expedition 33.
I know he doesn't like the ending.
You see in the game, I don't like any way it can play out, and I'm
what
only
is
going
it? I
to
haven't
say
finished
that.
it. Just tell me.
Well,
Exactly, that's all I'm gonna say.
They were fascinating.
I like the ending, but we'll get to that someday. We'll get to that.
Yeah, there's a
someday.
difference between well done and I just don't.
This could be a game of the year conversation right there.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, this one's titled PS1 Games. It's from Alex from Indiana. Hey, dude, there's just a quickie. I've never heard anyone talk about two of my childhood favorites from the PS1, outside of the Eiffel 65 song, that is, Tiny Tank and Omega Boost. Did any of you play those? Any thoughts? If so, and a contest suggestion, you guys should play through every game mentioned in the Eiffel 65 song in order. Keep doing what you do. Okay, the only Eiffel 65 song I know is Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die.
Yeah.
Is there an Eiffel 65 song about
Let me look it up.
PlayStation?
My
No,
console PlayStation song is what it's
No,
called.
and
My
it's that
console.
song. They just it's Blue Stinger, instead of Blue Abba-Dee Abba-Da. They just do Blue Stinger the whole time.
Ah.
No, I'm fucking.
No, okay. I've got them here. Okay. Oh, these
I
are
believe you.
good. Okay. Tekken 3, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Gran Turismo, Omega Boost, Bloody Roar, X-Files, All Over the World. Come
Okay,
on,
stop,
Ridge Racer.
Stop. Is
Yes.
Jumping Flash mentioned on there?
No.
Then fuck it.
Yeah.
Tiny Tank always looked fun. I never played it though.
Who's Alex from Indiana? Email MinMax, Ben Hansen, big Tiny Tank guy. He loves Tiny Tank. I think he made us play the multiplayer mode on an episode of Replay once.
Did I check out this Omega Boost game? I think I saw that.
I did not. I've seen it, but I never played that.
Okay, next up here is from Assad from Saudi Arabia, who says, "Hey, Bombcast, long-time listener, infrequent mailer here. Listening to yesterday's podcast 907, started thinking about cool intro music, like how wrestlers have for the different Bombcast crew members. These ones I thought of based on their personalities and interests. Jeff Grubb. The dude is basically a walking game encyclopedia and always on top of the latest news. Naturally, his intro music should be The Game, the Triple H theme song, or Name of the Game by Crystal Method. For Jeff Bacalar. Man, I love this guy. He always has the best takes on games and the funniest stories. My favorites were his Disneyland trip and the story about his son playing Silksong. Jeff is a gem until something sets him off and he goes off the rails. For him, it's TNT by AC/DC. Jan Ochoa. Jan is like the glue that holds the Bombcast together. He's what Joy is in Inside Out, what Michelangelo is in TMNT, and what Gustav is to the Expedition 33 crew.
Yeah.
Steve should be Sexy Boy from Shawn Michaels or Sexy and I Know It from LMFAO. I like the LMFAO song for sure.
I think he should apologize for party rocking, personally.
yeah, come on.
He's gone
Is
too
he even
far.
sorry for party rocking?
I've never heard him say it.
God,
Yeah,
the Black Eyed Peas jokes in Naked Gun were so good. It was so funny.
It's incredible.
Dan Reichert says, Dan has the wackiest takes and tastes, but there's something always logic behind them. He's also health and diet conscious, so a Rocky style theme feels right. Either Rocky Balboa theme or Eye of the Tiger. I think you would like Hearts on Fire even more, right, Dan? I think that would be.
I
your
like
Rocky
Burning
go-to song.
Heart. I think Burning Heart's really good.
Burning Heart is so yes.
It's
absolutely.
underrated. And I did.
Yes.
I came out to some Paxomania stuff to Burning Heart.
Yeah,
and
that's
Burning
right.
Heart is
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
I like that one.
Wizard East versus West. America's man. That's so good. It's
really
so
good.
good. Turbo Sean. Sean has exquisite taste in fighting and action games. Sharp and well-constructed analysis. As the fighting guru, he deserves a fighting game-inspired theme. Either Indestructible from Street Fighter 4, which, ooh, that's a good song.
Yeah, good call.
Or Rising Up from Streets of Rage 4.
Also
There you
good.
go.
I'll take Indestructible.
Yeah, Indestructible is... One year, that was my most listened song on my Spotify year-end wrap-up.
And that was 2023.
Featuring
Literally,
Flo
Dan,
Rida.
I think it was 2023.
Yep. Still online.
And here we go for Mike Minotti. Mike is one of the sweetest guys with great taste in games. He's a Final Fantasy fan, plays Diablo, loves Kingdom Hearts, adores Lost Crowns, is a big Disney guy. What's not to like? He may look tough on the outside, but is all mushy inside. With the nickname Bad Boy Against Media, his intro should be Bad to the Bone or the Final Fantasy VII Bombing Mission. So I like either of those. I can go with that. That's all from my side. What other songs would you assign to the Bombcast crew? Best wishes from Assad. I do think about intro songs. When I could make a character in the old wrestling games, I would always use Christian's one song. If you close your eyes, your life to make your truth reveal. When the girl was singing it, when he came back, it was a guy singing it and it wasn't as good. So that version of it for sure.
With the rain pyro, yeah.
When I think of intro music, I think of Wild Thing from the Cleveland
Major League.
Yeah, Major League. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Major
I like Wild Thing. That's a good song to walk on to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to the super chats. We got a few of these here from Martin Hollis. Certain WWE decisions have me questioning continuing watching. Did anything from Nintendo Direct do the same playing wise? I mean, some of those prices are getting ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm so outraged that I'm done with Nintendo. It's very far from that for me. Still just like so much of the stuff that they do. And yeah, like the Galaxy 2 thing, like a lot of people are upset at the price point. I really am just like, I can't believe I get to play Galaxy 2 again. Yeah, I'll pay $40. And people can hate me for that. I understand.
Yeah, just pick and choose. Like, if I did everything that the Pokemon Company put out, I would have been bankrupt so long ago. So sometimes it's okay to just say no to some stuff.
Yeah, and I don't blame people for like taking the heat out on Nintendo. They are the ones leading the charge on seeing what they can get away with prices. So yeah, if you have to direct your ire at them, go for it. Like if they make this choice, they're gonna have to deal with the feedback. So yeah, be mad at them.
Big Fresh 37 says, imagine if you were a kid and you had your first kiss. Then that person revealed themselves to be a secret Ditto. Wouldn't that be great news? Because Ditto can be anyone. Ditto can be anyone.
What's the plan here, Mike?
I'm just saying, Ditto can be anyone.
Why is it great? What would you do with that information? Okay,
do you have anyone in mind?
No one that I'm going to tell you guys about. Oh, like you'll be gracious if I open myself up and told you who I want Ditto to turn into.
Dilbert from the comic Dilbert.
I think Mike's burying the lead here. Ditto can be anyone, including Ditto. I think he just wants to fuck the pink slime.
Yeah, he just wants to fuck that raw Ditto.
You guys are gross. You guys are vulgar. No wonder this is a bad podcast. I'm trying my best, Jan. I'm sorry. I can't control these fuckos.
You probably could fuck Ditto, right?
I mean...
Oh, hey! Why don't you try out your new blue sky? Look up Ditto.
Let's do it. I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to take this hit. I'm going to search for Ditto.
Thank you, Dan. All right.
Yeah. You'll see Ditto turn into all sorts of things.
This is key. You have to go by latest. Okay. A lot of people are just using the word Ditto. Okay, this is maybe the farthest.
Okay, so yeah.
I don't see any Ditto dicks.
Ditto is a word, so that's
so I think that is. Wow, yeah, I'm just scrolling.
Right, you're safe. Good.
All seems fine. Yeah,
I can give you some other websites to search that word in that might give you better results. Eric Washenko says, if someone's dog poops in your lawn, you should be able to use that poop in any retaliatory way you'd want. Stop pooping on my lawn. Damn it. Okay.
Yes,
but I don't know. This is a hot take. I think that if you are holding one of those bags of poop and there is a garbage bin on the curb, I don't care whose it is, I think you should be able to put the dog shit in the garbage bin. It's a garbage bin.
I think about this a lot, and literally yesterday I was walking with Bonk and I was holding the poop bag, she was walking the dogs, and I passed 50 different fucking bins, and nah, it's not ours, I'm not gonna do that.
I get it, but it's garbage.
If someone picked the poo out of my yard and put it in my garbage bin, I would be thankful. Now, make sure you know which one's the garbage bin and which one's the recycling bin. That's the only heroin thing there. And sometimes
not taking it out of your yard. I'm saying let's say they are just walking and their dog shit down the street or whatever.
Yeah. If you could
you're fine with that?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, but I mean,
think I would be too. But I don't want to presume that my neighbors
are fine with that. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to presume.
Yeah.
All right.
Stepping in dog shit. Top 10 worst things that can happen.
Immediate. God damn it.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I had a long day. It was like a stressful day, and I came home. And I was just like, oh, I'm so stressed out. Thank God I'm home. And it was the one day that Penny decided, for the first time ever, to take a shit on the doormat right by the garage door. I did see it, and I just couldn't believe. I was so.
Well, now, okay, now what's worse though? Okay, shoes stepping in dog shit, or socks stepping in a piss puddle.
The sock thing is rectified faster because the shoes, you got to really clean those things.
Yeah.
The socks are just so soppy and gross.
It's gross, but you can get it in the wash. You can just throw it away real quick. The shoes, you're gonna be scrubbing shit off of those things.
Yeah,
now.
you can throw
I take
out
the
a
hose
sock.
to it outside. Yeah.
But it's like 50-cent sock. Like, yeah, just toss that away and you're kind of done.
Sure.
Maybe
So
rinse your
we're
foot.
talking about like your dog peeing on the floor and you stepped in it.
Yeah.
In a socks or like
Okay,
walking
right, I
around, you
get
step
it.
in shit. Yeah.
Yeah, just like because like for me, it's like I used to be a delivery driver. I used to deliver all the time. Like about once every 3 to 6 months, I would step in dog shit, and so that's where I was like, that's what I'm thinking the context in. Like, oh yeah, I guess you guys also maybe occasionally have to deal with this in your homes where they also pee. Okay, no, I've never stepped in pee with my sock on. That sounds awful.
It's
not.
awful.
It's just it's disheartening. It's like, oh,
That's
man,
disheartening.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would bum. It would probably ruin my whole day. Actually, stepping in dog shit ruins my whole day. So yeah.
All right,
You don't want to throw the piss sock in the hamper with all your normal clothes.
No, you throw
And then
it
it's like,
in the laundry room or just throw it in the wash right away. Like my laundry room's just downstairs. I will just like throw that shit down the stairs and worry about it later.
I think you're okay to just throw it out too if like you don't want to deal with it. Yeah.
Bonk still gives me shit for the time I stepped in piss and then was trying to clean my foot. And I sprayed a multi-purpose cleaner on it, which, you got the spray thing and you spray it to clean up, counters and stuff like that. And it says multi-surface cleaner.
And you're a surface?
That's exactly what I said. So my foot's a surface. And she's like, oh my God.
This one's cute. I like this one.
It seemed to me that like the joke I said is him saying, that's exactly what I said.
No, I looked at her. I was like, is my foot not a surface? Jesus Christ.
He's got a point this time. You know what? I'll give Dan that one. I'll give you that one, buddy.
Yeah,
You can have it.
I'm okay with it.
All right. Slavic Awesome says, a truck filled with Worcestershire sauce and a truck filled with quinoa crashed in front of the charcuterie shop. When asked by a reporter what happened, a witness said, well, it's kind of hard to say. Does anyone have any issues with the way I said any of those words?
That all seemed fine.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like you really put a little extra zhuzh on quinoa, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Quinoa. I thought maybe tripped up for just a moment. It was like, oh, quinoa, yeah.
Yeah, but
I know what that is.
it like just sounded like, all right, well, this is just how he says quinoa.
You
that's
said
fine.
all of those better than you say chimney.
Thank you. That's true. Well, I love Worcestershire sauce. I use that stuff all the time. It's so freaking good. I put it on almost any sauce I'm making. Worcestershire. We could just say Worcestershire if you want
That's
to.
definitely
whatever.
one of the words that I just kind of sneeze my way through. Like Worcestershire. Just kinda
Yeah, that's
trail
like, it's
off,
a famous, difficult word to say, but boy, is that shit good. I remember the first time I had it, I'm like, oh, this is what makes just Czech mix taste good, right? That's basically that flavor, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good stuff. EP Idiot Box says, fuck that raw ditto is now my new catchphrase.
Also clean read. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome, everyone. Trevor Wallman says the world falling down a right-wing hole has gotten me feeling down lately, but you guys are always a bright light in my week. Thanks for
you guys are way worse.
and you guys are contributing negatively to it. You're part of the problem. Thank you, Trevor. Appreciate that. And then El Grug says, Sean gonna have a field day with the clean reads.
Oh, you know it,
That's the
Elgrod.
job.
There you go. All right. Well, look at that. Look at that, everybody. They said it couldn't be done with me hosting. They said we'd never get through it. It'd be impossible. But we did it, and we still have a bunch of other fun stuff happening this week. We got Game Mess Mornings popping off every morning. We have Blight Club. I'm going to continue to play Virtual Highlight. I got out of the Hydra's lair. I'm going to find some other weird bullshit to collect and swing a sword at. Maybe there'll be another 20-minute boss fight where I just have to slowly shoot magic sword juice at something over and over again.
Do you have my game picked out?
Actually, no, I guess we should figure that.
You should probably start talking about that.
Yeah.
No, I did. I sent it because I wanted to make sure, because I thought you might beat it last week, Mike, so I just went and pulled the trigger. So, Dan, you should be getting a package here pretty soon. But yes, since I made an executive decision there, Mike can have the lead next time we pick your game.
Labeled appropriately? I'll know not to open it?
Everything should say Blight Club, care of Dan Reichard.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it'll lead with Blight Club. That'll be the first words you see on the label.
Great.
Voicemail dump truck is tomorrow with Emily Panic joining us. That one. So
God, she's great. One of my favorite things about first starting here was watching Emily Panic and Dan Reichert coexist in the same physical space during the Bombathon and hang out, and just seeing her be fascinated by him, because she doesn't seem like the kind of person that gets fascinated by too many people. So it was a good moment. It was just fun to watch.
I remember we were on the dump truck together once, and I remember there
She
were a
was
few
great.
just
Yeah,
like,
with
what
you,
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
is... Yeah. So get your
That's good
questions
stuff.
in.
we're also checking out a couple of games. Jeff, I believe you and Jan are going to check out Lego Voyagers, that new co-op Lego game. That's going to be happening tomorrow between Game of Mornings and Blight Club.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
So that should
Also,
be fun.
Chad is asking, you said tomorrow for dump truck? That's not right?
That's not correct. That's Thursday. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry. Yes, normal time slot for voicemail dump truck. But also on Thursday, in between the dump truck and Game of Mornings, Giant Bomb will keep digging. There's a new hole game out there. New digging a hole game apparently. So
Yep, it's called Keep Digging, I think, and we're gonna play it.
All right, at least Dan and Jeff are playing that one. I might be joining as well, so it'll be fun. And then Friday UPF. I think right now our plan is to play some Skate. I think that's today that's available.
Yeah, it's out.
Right?
I was just opening up Steam to download it.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Skate is a thing now. So go out there, all you Skate heads. Anybody else have anything they want to say before we wrap this thing up?
You're a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
His
I
ass.
really blew it, man.
There's gonna be a meeting after this about my I think I did a good job. That's Silksong's transition. Look, I know it may have been crude, but it was pretty good. You have to admit. Yeah,
I don't remember.
That was.
I don't either.
We don't need to relive
It was
that.
the semen one. The semen one.
Oh.
All right, everyone. Thank you again so much for hanging out with us on the Bombcast. He's been Dan. He's been Jeff. He's been Sean. I'm Mike Minotti. We love you.
It's getting so loud.